What's up, all of the tricksters watching another VOD review. Today, at our coaching table, we have the Ascendant 1 Yoru main playing on Sunset, and his name is Daikokuten. Daikokuten tier 3 sub. Now, let's see what Daikokuten, I completely probably, destroyed his name, like, completely scavenged it. What does he have to say to us? Note, I changed the VOD after confirming in DMs that it is alright. Yeah, I mean, as long as I don't review your VOD, you can feel free to change it. This is the VOD, this is the tracker, okay. I'm a Yoru main. 99% of time I play Yoru, and rarely I will fill, despite being capable of doing so. So I'd like to get tips targeted to Yoru. Oh, I mean, you submitted the Yoru VOD. So essentially, like, yes, we're gonna do the Yoru VOD review, and then we're gonna talk about Yoru, obviously. And when it comes to filling, like, listen, like, what I will always recommend players in Valorant is up to Immortal 3. You need to master 2 agents and have 2 fill agents. But that doesn't mean that you should fill 24/7. Like, it is really, really important that you fully master 2 characters in this game. When I say master, what I mean by it, you understand how to play every single scenario with that specific agent. So around, spending around 300 to 500 hours with only 1 agent. So around 600 to 1000 with 2 agents. Now, when it comes to filling, like, it is good if you have like 2 alternative picks, especially, let's say, if your number 1 pick and number 2 pick are, let's say, duelists. It would be good if your number 3 pick is maybe controller, someone like Omen. I mean, if you already love playing Yoru, why wouldn't you enjoy the best controller in the game? Let's be honest. And number 4 pick would be some kind of a, initiator, essentially. Especially because you're playing Yoru. Why not Gecko? Why not Breach? Some kind of a pop flash, thingeroni that is similar to Yoru's playstyle. I mean, nothing is similar to Yoru's playstyle because he's very unique, but you get the point. And by the way, by the way, is that I'm aiming... okay. By the way, I'm aiming to go pro in Valorant esports, which is why I'm considering your monthly plan. Listen, man. I mean, especially if you want to go pro in Valorant. Like, you need to... First of all, you need to diversify yourself as a player. Like, you need to find individual value and be a useful asset to your teammates in every single round and every single scenario. Like, for all of you guys that want to go pro, you cannot just one-trick one agent, number 1. And number 2, like, you need to expand yourself on a daily basis, 24/7. Like, when it comes to going pro in Valorant, like, I mean, going pro in Valorant is definitely easier than in some of the other games, but the chances are, like, always below 1%. So, like, beside developing yourself as a player, you need to start networking, like, making connections inside of Valorant, like, add in some people that you like to play with, maybe going in contact, trying to make a contact with other players, and you need to be extremely, like, communicative person. Like, you cannot just be a silent guy like me that is just, my job is just get in a match, win the rounds, win the game, go next. I don't care, about, interacting with brain-dead Radiant players in Europe. Like, my job is just to win the games and to give you some tips, tricks, strategies, tactics, and that's it. But if you want to go pro in Valorant, there is a long checklist that you need to complete. I mean, number 1 goal of yours is definitely getting Radiant for the first time. Not to just prove to yourself that you're capable of contesting the Radiant players in this game. Because, obviously, like, all of the pro players are Radiant players. Now, goal number 2 is finding the individual value. Like, finding a playstyle or playstyles that suit you the best. That is the hardest thing to find. Like, I mean, when I coach players in Valorant, like, it can take months to find a perfect playstyle and individual value for one player. Like, where that player is good and where that player is bad. What are the main strengths on which you can carry the games and main weaknesses that you need to fix or avoid within your gameplay. Then, another thing that you want to do if you want to go pro in Valorant is, like, network. You need to, like, add players that you enjoyed playing with. try to make some small teams. Like, I mean, tier one team will never pick you up because you're rank 1 Radiant. They don't give a crap about you. Like, players that are proven and players that are known to be good, they're gonna get picked. You know, there's a lot of these top 10 players in Valorant, or basically like 99% of Radiant players right now will never be pro players. Why? Because they either lack something, they lack communication, or they have like zero networking skills. Like, you need to be annoying, unfortunately. You need to be very communicative. You need to like make friends, you know, along the journey, and actually enjoy what you're doing. Also, like, another box that you need to tick there, after you do all of this, you need to find that team play value as well. Like, you need to offer something to the team. Like, no matter in which team you play. Like, you need to find where you excel over other players and what you can do better than others. And then maybe you can think and maybe dream about going pro. But until then, those cannot even be dreams of yours, essentially. Like, if you cannot tick the first checklist of reaching Radiant, you're already fucked, basically. Like you know, chances are very, very low that you will go pro in Valorant. Even though, yes, like, I mean, Radiant is not a threshold, you know, to be a professional player. I highly believe there are some tier 1 or tier 2 or maybe even, you know, maybe tier 3 players that never reached Radiant. But still, you know, like, if you want to be the best, you gotta beat the best. Now, another thing that I would recommend you is, like, as soon as you hit Radiant for the first time, you know, you are done with rank solo queue. Like, you use the rank solo queue only to practice and develop yourself. Like, you get the first Radiant icon, you don't care about ranked anymore. Your main goal is finding the team, assembling some maybe premier team to play with, like a group of friends, to just have fun a bit, figure out some strategies together, get into that team play mindset, and then slowly you grind up your career. Like, going pro is in any video game is mega hard. Like, there is, like, you know, I would say like 70% of hard work. Like, there is like 10% of networking, 10% of luck as well, and 10% everything else, essentially. So, you know, talent and that type of stuff. So, like, you know, obviously, I don't say that it is impossible, and everyone should, you know, if you have a dream of going pro, you should chase that dream. Give it a go. But don't feel disappointment if you don't succeed. You know, even if you just reach Radiant in this game, that might be valuable at some moment of time. Like, I mean, the first game that I played was not the first game which I played professionally. Like, the first game that I played was Quake. And I wanted to be a pro player in Quake, like, when I was young. I was like, I don't know, like 10 years old, something like that. And I was mega good at Quake. I remember I played one match against Rafa, man. Like, Rafa is really fucking good Quake player. Like, but I never went pro in Quake ever in my life. Like, then the second game was Counter-Strike 1.6. That game I grinded for like 5,000, 6,000 hours. I just won some, I don't know, tournaments in my country, in my region, and that's it. Like, I mean, I was never considered even a semi-pro, to be honest. Like, just a casual pugger, you know? And then, in League of Legends, I was challenger. In that game, I wanted to go pro. But, you know, life came along the way. I don't know, like, you know, I had to balance a lot of things. And essentially, I never got a chance. And then finally, when the Counter-Strike came, all of that previous experience that I gathered in Quake, CS 1.6, and League of Legends, it actually helped me to be a better pro player in CS, in CSGO, and PUBG as well, and a semi-pro in Overwatch. So essentially, every single game can help you, and every single team environment can help you become a better pro player. Maybe not in the game that you're playing at that moment of time, but in the next game. Like, for example, you know, now you're asking yourself, like, Charlatan, how did League of Legends help you in any way to become a better pro player in CSGO? I mean, I was never a tier 1 player, but, you know, we're gonna leave that alone there. So, how did League help me? It helped me mentally. It helped me understand what it truly takes to be the best in one game. It helped me, like, build a good working habits. It helped me dissect the games that I play a bit better, like in individual pieces. Like these days, I can pick any game, and in less than 300 hours, I can reach the top rank. I mean, the highest icon in that game. 300 to 500. Except Rocket League, I'm really shit at Rocket League. Like, we're not gonna talk about that. So yeah, like, you know, going pro is really a vague topic. Like, there's a lot of like things that you should consider and that you need to like take in consideration. But it is more than possible. You know, it is possible. And if that is your dream, chase it. And also another recommendation I would give to the kids and people that want to go pro in Valorant is always have the plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Like, like going pro in Valorant is never your plan A. It's plan B, maybe plan C. I mean, you're still going, you know, when I say go all in, it means like go like 100% into the VOD. But when it comes to like, you know, if like, what do I mean by plan B? You know, you can still go all in, but not really all in. Like, go semi all in. Like, you know, invest like 80% of your time into that specific dream, into that specific like task, and 20% of your time like into something else. So basically, like, you know, it's really something that like going pro in some video game should never be your plan A. Never. Or if that is your plan A, make sure that you have a plan B, C, and D as well. Like in every single video game in which I attempted to go pro, or I went pro, I always had plan B, C, and D. So if that fails, or I don't have enough earnings from the tournaments, I still had plenty of money to live normal, more than normal life. Above average in my country. So I always had some kind of a side business, like doing some side jobs, like, I don't know, that are not, you know, taking a lot of time from me, but still allowing me to live like a normal life while I'm chasing my dream. And also, when it comes to going pro in some game, the final advice I would give you is, if that is truly your main goal, if you really want to go pro, don't give up. Like, never give up. Because, like, you never really know in which year or at what moment of time you might make it. Like, basically, when I played Counter-Strike, I played with some players that I thought will never go pro. I literally thought, like, there was absolutely no way these players are gonna ever be professional players. And they just grinded the game for, like, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. And now they are actually playing in tier 1 and tier 2 teams. So, like, hard work always pays off. But remember that hard work and talent will always beat you. So if you don't have that, like, 10% of the talent, I mean, like, you're probably never going to win, I don't know, VCT champions. Or be, like, maybe even a tier 1 player. But remember that being a tier 3 and tier 2 player is still a pro player in Valorant, you know. And you might be making a good living out of the game, especially if you're coming from the third world countries. Now, main issues. My defense overall lacks. Big fucking problem, to be honest. Like, I mean, most of your games in Valorant, you win on a defender side, and how you play the defense is crucial. Especially on the maps such as Loadout, such as, like, I don't know, Abyss, Bind, like, winning as many rounds as possible on a defender side is mega important. Now, sometimes I struggle on making quick calculated decisions, and later after the round, my death, I realized what I shouldn't have done in that scenario. mid-round decisions can be improved with some training, and I have like 3, 4, or 5 training routines for that. But like, you're basically saying you lack adaptiveness. Like, what you said here is I lack adaptiveness in specific scenarios. Now, how do you develop your adaptiveness? By developing your game knowledge. How do you develop the game knowledge? By observing your VODs every single day, by observing different scenarios every single day, taking the notes for yourself, building up the plan, how you want to play a specific match. If enemies have A, and I have B, what is the result of that A plus B? You know, like following a certain set of rules that are going to allow you to have higher chances of winning the rounds and winning the games. Building up the discipline as a player, building up good map awareness, like essentially all of that contributes to your overall adaptiveness. Like basically, adaptiveness is the main skill set that separates an immortal player from a radiant player. Like basically, a lot of the immortal players are hardstack immortal for like 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, because their adaptiveness is at 0%. It is the hardest skill set to be fixed, and for an Ascendant player, it is almost impossible that you fix it, you know, at a really high levels immediately. But over time, like, it's gonna get better as you're, you know, taking the notes and observing different scenarios, as you're getting in-game experience, as you're learning and expanding your game knowledge. You become better at making faster game decisions, and essentially also like how can I say this, like finding win potentials a bit faster. Now, my DPI is 1600 and my sense is 0.12. Completely irrelevant, because based on one VOD review, like, there is no way I can recommend you which sensitivity to use, you know? Literally, like, in order for me to give you some real advice here, I would need to watch your gameplay like at least 4, 5, or 6 times, or see you play deathmatch for like 7 or 8 deathmatches. But if I see some, like, you know, big problems in terms of your sensitivity, like some noticeable problems, I'm gonna give you an advice, obviously. But 1600 at 0.12 is like, you know, at the higher spectrum, I would maybe, actually no, like that's like 0.24 at 800, that's actually lower. That's almost close to this new low sensitivity that I'm playing. I mean, that's okay, you know. It's okay. I play low sense, and lately I feel like my aim is a bit wonky. I'm not sure if it has to do with play space or my grip or anything else. I don't really am able to make flicks, but it is never too accurate, and I'm struggling to micro-adjust after making a big 180-degree flick when my hand is placed in an awkward position. Okay, I'll keep this in mind. Like, I have like 100 private aim training routines that I have made. So if I see something that can maybe help you out, I'm gonna share it with you through the private messages. But when it comes to your sensitivity, like, listen, chat. Remember one very important tip I'm gonna give you right now. Perfect sensitivity doesn't exist. Like, every sensitivity is lacking something. Even if you're using some stupid software such as custom curve and mouse excel. Perfect things do not exist. Like, he changed it right now. He's actually using like 0.17 and 1600. Like, essentially, I'm gonna explain to you what I'm doing in the last 2 years in Valorant in terms of my sensitivity. So let me go to my settings quickly. Just a second. So, look at here. Like, what I'm doing right now in Valorant, I'm using 5 main sensitivities. So I'm using 0.2, 0.25, 0.314, 0.35, 0.42 at 800 DPI. Now, my main sensitivity is this one here, the middle one. That is the sensitivity on which I feel the most comfortable with my wrist, with my forearm, and it's like the middle perfect ground. Now, why do I have like 2 high and 2 low sensitivities? to practice different mechanical problems that I develop over time on this sensitivity and to get out of my comfort zone a bit. One of the main mistakes that average player in Valorant makes is sticking with one sensitivity only. Like, you can do that when you become a pro player. You know, when you fully develop yourself mechanically and when you actually get on a level where you are already at the limit of your skill ceiling. But this concept is actually one of the best concepts you can follow. So, you're playing on your main sensitivity for, let's say, 1 or 2 months, 3 months. And at the 3rd month, you start feeling that you're not using your wrist enough, for an example. You start feeling that your micro corrections are shit, and that, like, basically you're not hitting those, you know, nitty-gritty bitty shots. Like basically when you need to be extremely precise, aim is like all over the place. I will use higher sensitivity for like 1 or 2 months and fully focus only on my micro corrections and my wrist aim and fingertip aim. Now, after 1 or 2 months, I'm gonna go back on my main sensitivity and carry all of the good habits that I've developed on this sensitivity. Now, once again, I play on my main sensitivity for like 1, 2, or 3 months, and I feel that my large angle flicks are shit. I'm not able to kill the enemies that are behind me. I'm very lazy with my crosshair placement. My sensitivity feels, you know, once again, bad in regards of my forearm aim. I will use lower sensitivity for like 1 or 2 months and fully focus on using my whole arm to aim and fixing those specific mechanical problems. Because lower sensitivity will also naturally make you pay more attention on the crosshair placement. I mean, on 0.2 sensitivity, if you have shit crosshair placement, good luck hitting the enemy that is like, you know, behind you or at 100 and, I don't know, 80 degrees, 135 degrees or something like that. So, and then I go back to my main sensitivity and I play on main sensitivity until I develop some new problem. So basically, over time, like certain sensitivities are always lacking something. Like one portion of your mouse control is always gonna atrophy a bit, and essentially like, you know, this concept is really, really good. Like for the players that are not certain which sensitivity to use, you know, also by using this concept, maybe you find a perfect sensitivity for yourself, like perfect main sensitivity. So for an example, like, you know, you can like lower your current sensitivity by 20% and higher it up by 20%, test those 3 sensitivities for like 3 or 4 months, and then make a decision which sensitivity feels better for you. So like, you know, this concept is really good, like to fix general mechanical problems like mouse control, and generally I feel that, you know, these days I really have a belief where it's, you know, perfect sensitivity just doesn't exist. Like every sensitivity is lacking something, and even with the mouse excel, like the problem of mouse excel is like you're adding another factor in your aim that can be inconsistent. So you're complicating things unnecessarily again, and that's why that is actually not the solution. So, you know, and a general tip when it comes to sensitivity would be like, in Valorant, you should go as high as possible with your sensitivity, as long as you can control it and perfectly like micromanage everything, and everything is perfect for you essentially. So in Valorant, I would always go as high as possible, but to the moment of time where, you know, you're not over flicking, under flicking, you're able to perform like 90-degree flicks, 180-degree flicks with arm or wrist, and that's it essentially. And generally, like for majority of players, like your perfect, like once again, your main sensitivity, let's say, is usually somewhere in between 0.25 and 0.35 at 800 DPI. I mean, this is the range which is gonna be good for 90% of Valorant players. Now, we talked about sensitivity for too much. Like, let's move on to another topic. Listen, if I can recommend you something based on what I see during the VOD review, I'm going to like give you some kind of a better recommendation. You know, I'm gonna give you some number or some kind of a training, etc., etc. Visco made a great video about the drawbacks on raw Excel. Oh, I don't know, man. Like I tried raw Excel for like 1 month when I was on vacation like a few years ago. I don't know, man. Like I can see that maybe 1% of players might benefit from that shit, but 99% of players is like, why would you do that? Like, literally, why would you complicate things with a custom curve? Now, I feel like sometimes I'm uncertain of how I should be playing in order to get the most impact kills and what to look out for. That's a very vague question, vague question, and it's really hard to give an answer, you know, to give only one general answer on this. Like, basically, you know, there's a lot of rules that you need to follow in Valorant. Like, in every single VOD review, I share different sets of rules. Like, I discuss different topics. Like, on my second YouTube channel, I've already made like 98. I've already uploaded 98 VOD reviews. Each VOD review is minimum 2 hours. That is around 200 to 250 hours of free coaching content. And you want to follow literally every single tip and every single rule that is mentioned in every single video. Like, if you want to be an impactful player. That's why coaching is never a one-time thing. Like, you cannot buy coaching from someone and after the coaching session, that coach is like, okay, man, see you later, get the fuck out of here. When you're buying real private coaching, like, this is not a real private coaching, this is just a VOD review. It doesn't have anything to do with my private coaching. Like, when you buy actual coaching from someone, that coach needs to be for that guy there until he reaches fucking radiant. Through private messages, like, you need to have some kind of a support. Because Valorant is a mega complex game in terms of game knowledge, decision making, team play, and adaptiveness. There's 3,000 scenarios, over 3,000 scenarios that you need to learn how to play, and there is absolutely no simple answer on how to be the most impactful player. Like, the most impactful player in Valorant is a player that understands how to close out the rounds in games. Player that is disciplined, player that is only focused on making the numbers advantage and playing on a refrag potential, and player that understands how to play every single map on both attackers and defender side on the highest possible levels. Like, you understand all of the rules, all of the tactics, strategies, and stuff like that. And player that essentially, you know, is just focused on completing the most necessary tasks in order to win a specific round and match. The worst players in Valorant are the players that have like 25 kills and 25 deaths per match. That's the worst type of player in Valorant. Like, having that type of a KD. A good player in Valorant is like a player that wins a 15-13 match with a 15-13 score. But all 15 kills were some impactful kills to make the numbers advantage, to maybe like close out the round, win a 1v1, defuse the spike, that type of stuff. That's a impactful player. Like, when I play Valorant like I'm working a 9-to-5 job. I have a certain tasks that I need to complete. Once I complete them, I turtle in, focus on just winning the round, moving on to the next round. It is not fun playing Valorant like that. You know, it's absolutely not fun. But, I mean, it's one of the easiest ways to grind up to Radiant. You preserve your mental health, you preserve your stamina as well for more games. And also, like, you're serious and try harding in every single round. And having that mentality is always better than having a loosey-goosey mentality where you're like, oh, hey, hello, guys, let's have some fun. Oh, I'm gonna go for a crazy Yoru play because we're winning 7-0 and I don't give a fuck about this round. And then you lose that round, you're 7-1, you win the half only 7-5. On a defender side, your teammates are absolute dog shit, and you lose that match 13-11. happens more, you know, a lot of times in my coaching sessions. Now, sometimes I randomly mess up. You will see in the VOD some good examples. Okay. I'm actively working on my crosshair placement. I realize that sometimes it is not too good. I mean, on low sensitivity, you really need a good, you really need a good crosshair placement. I mean, you said that you played on 0.24 at 800 DPI. Like, on that sense, you need to, like your crosshair placement needs to be superb, basically. And generally speaking, like, for an Ascendant player, like, your crosshair placement should already be on a level of an Immortal player, Immortal 3 player, if you want to reach Immortal 3 and Radiant. Like, I mean, if you already reach Ascendant, you should have a very high understanding of how to position yourself, you know, how to hold the angles, how to clear the angles, where should your crosshair go, etc, etc. But, you know, a lot of the players reach Ascendant with... sometimes I wonder how the fuck you guys reach Ascendant. And then you're hardstack Ascendant for like 3 years in a row. And you're asking yourself, oh, how am I here playing with these guys? How are you there? I literally don't know how are you there. You got up to Ascendant 1 by only polishing out one skill set. And then you're asking yourself, like, how am I hardstack? Okay. My mental is lacking frequently and I end up performing poorly because of it. In one of my previous VOD reviews, I've discussed the problems of mentality. Take a look at that. Like, it's either on my main YouTube channel. It's a very recent video. Very, very recent video. And also, in some of the VOD reviews on my second YouTube channel, I speak about this this problem. I mean, like... and also, there is another thing that can help you out. Let me just find it. Just a second. I need to... Let me see if... how to train mentality. Okay. Actually, I have that shit. Okay. Actually, I made this. Like, there's a whole thread. Like a document of 5,000 words. 5,000, like, characters. That I have written here. How to train your mentality. If that forum doesn't help you, I don't know what is gonna help you, like, essentially. It's basically at As the Coach forum here. Sometimes I find myself having a hard time grinding due to low stamina. I usually play 2 to 3 games and then feel exhausted. I want to be able to grind more and more consistently. Papa Charlatanko got you again. Papa Charlatan got you again. Just a second. I mean, like, I covered so many topics, man. Like, so many topics. Wait. Where the fuck is that? Just a second. Just a moment. Just a moment. Just a moment. I become very tired and exhausted. Focus. Yes, Sirski. I mean, like, I've been doing this coaching for, like, you know, 4.5 years. And essentially, I have discussed so many topics and written so many documents. I have around 200 hours of pre-recorded private routines, trainings, and videos and topics that I have covered. Like, literally, during the coaching sessions, I don't even need to open my mouth anymore. I can just share the videos, like, see what your problems are. Here you go. This video is gonna help you. This video is gonna help you. This video is gonna help you. It is so good doing coaching right now. So fucking good. So yeah, take a look at these 2 posts right here. They're gonna help you with mentality and stamina. And if you need more help, like with that, I'll be more than glad to answer through the private messages. I do not understand the difference between micro and macro. Micro is everything that you do on an individual level. Macro is everything that you do on a team play level. Yes? Like, what else do I need to explain? Like, micro is like individual utility usage, like, you know, individual positioning, pathing. Macro is your team play, essentially. Okay. Got it, thanks. Okay. My active aim could probably use some training. As of now, I don't do any aim routines, and I would like it if you can recommend me something. Okay. I mean, when it comes to the aim training routines, like, you know, I generally, during my VOD reviews, I hate speaking about aim because I have a training for literally everything in Valorant. And based on which problems you have, based on, you know, what I see during the VOD review, all of you guys get some kind of a training, some kind of an aim training routine, some kind of a warm-up. I'll find something for you. And, you know, if that is not good, we'll find something else that is better. I would love tips on all of the above, really. Okay. Mainly mental, aiming, decision-making, stamina, and defense. You got plenty of tips. Update lately, the stamina thing has been a major problem for me. I wake up after sleeping a good night's sleep and I can barely play 2 games before feeling drained and annoyed. I don't know how can I help it. Read these 2 forums and then, you know, and then ask me the questions again through the private messages. Now, let's dive into the El Tracker, El Review, brothers. El Tracker, El Review. Okay, now let's check the tracker of our friend Daiko. So, basically, our friend Daiko started playing Valorant in episode 4, Act 2. His playtime from Act to Act is a bit inconsistent, to be honest. But to be honest, he's putting, you know, enough hours. Enough hours to see some serious progress. You know, serious SEM progress. Like, to be honest, like, you know, this act, we were a bit hard-stuck. I mean, like, investing 120 hours and just reaching Silver 2 again. What the hell, to be honest. But during this episode, we went from Silver 2 to Platinum 1. Not bad, but my guy invested like 300 hours in one episode to go like 6 ranks. Then we stayed hardstack in Platinum for a bit. And then we got Diamond and then Ascendant for the first time. I mean, like, you know, in some of the acts and some of the episodes, we can definitely say he was hardstack a bit. But overall, like, I mean, reaching Ascendant 1 from Iron in 1000 hours, that's okay. I mean, I've seen worse. Like, you know, for example, Voodoo is hardstack like Ascendant for the last like 3 months, so Wukujin is hardstack Immortal for the last like ever. I don't know, like, basically one thing that I would mention here is that, you know, Yoru is not really the best agent to learn Valorant and to grind the low elo. Like, going from Iron 1 to Ascendant 1, it is much easier to play more simple agents. They have better versatility and better sustainability as well. Like, if I'm an Iron player, I mean, I'm definitely not going to, you know, main Yoru. Like, Omen exists, Jet, Raze, now Claw, Gecko. You know? Chamber, depending if you're a mechanical player. ISO, if you're good with the mechanics. You know. Then we have like Neon is also good in these low elo lobbies now. But Yoru is like, you know, in low elo lobbies, he's like optimal. He's not bad, it's just like, why? Why would I ever main Yoru over other agents? But in the lobbies where he's playing right now, you know, Ascendant 1 to Radiant, he is really, really strong and really, really good pick, obviously. That's why, you know, he started having more success playing Yoru in these acts right here. Because Yoru is like a, you know, vice versa psychology. Vice versa like a Gecko, for an example. With Gecko, like, as you get higher in ranks, he becomes more and more useless, essentially. And with Yoru, the higher and higher you go with the ranks, it becomes more useful and it's easier to outplay the enemies and actually, you know, figure out the good plays because your game knowledge is rising as well. You're becoming a better player. Like, Yoru really requires high levels of game knowledge, adaptiveness, and decision making. And also, like, you know, feeling for timings is very important. Like, now, yeah, you can main Yoru, but I would have it. You spend way too much time on this agent, to be honest. Like, I really think that, you know, Yoru is not really the agent that will teach you everything about Valorant. Like, if I was you, I would also add a few more picks. Like, look at this. Like, he played 1,500 games with Yoru. Brother, the agent is not that interesting, to be honest. You know, and Yoru is not really teaching you some very important aspects of Valorant. Like, if I was you, I would definitely try to find 1, 2, or 3 more picks to main. Like, for example, okay, you main Yoru. If I'm a Yoru main, which agents would I consider? Omen number 1. Instantly. Without any second thoughts. Like, if you're already playing Yoru, which is the agent that requires good decision making, versatility, you know, adaptiveness, like, Omen is going to be great for you, for the outplays and everything. Number 3, Jett. Simple agent that is still very powerful, you know, still the best duelist in the game, in my opinion, on most of the maps. And why not? Like, 4th pick, maybe Gecko. Gecko is really good. Gecko is the most versatile and the best initiator right now. Every other initiator is just, like, lacking a bit. Like, only in high lobbies, like, you know, Breach becomes better on some of the maps, and Sova becomes better on some of the maps, but from Iron 1 to Immortal 3, I would personally not play anything else except Gecko. Literally. Then, like... But that would be kind of like main 3 picks. From my side. I heavily recommend you to, like, try to touch the Gecko, Omen, and Jett in the following acts. You know, for an example, like, on Haven. On Haven, I would main Jett and Yoru. I would play Omen as a, you know, flex pick, and Gecko as a fill. Then on Bind, I would actually main Omen and Yoru. You can flex a bit with the Jett, and Gecko as a fill. Then on Ascent, you know, I would go with the Jett and Omen as mains, Gecko as a flex fill, and Yoru as a flex fill. Then, like, which map we have still? Abyss. On Abyss, I would definitely play Jett over the Yoru. Like, Jett, number 1, Yoru number 2, main, Gecko as a flex pill and pick, and Omen as some kind of a fill. Then we have, like, Icebox, Jett and Yoru main, Omen flex, and Yoru fill, and Gecko fill. Sorry. Which else map we have? Like, Lotus. On Lotus, like, I would run it down actually with Yoru and Gecko. I think Yoru and Gecko are better than just playing Jett on that map, to be honest. Like, Yoru and Gecko main, Omen and Jett, like, flex fill picks. If you're bored of Yoru and Gecko. And on Sunset, but to be honest, on Sunset, you know, you can run it down with a Yoru and Gecko as main agents, and Omen and Jett as some kind of a flex or fill pick. And that's what I would do if I was you. Especially in the maps where you're finding low success with Yoru, try Jett, Gecko, and Omen. Like, for example, let's see, last act, you suffered on Lotus. Actually, on Lotus, okay, you had a good performance, but God knows what type of teammates. Ascent, for an example. Like, on Ascent, Yoru is very underwhelming. Just pick the Jett and pick the Omen. You know? On Icebox as well, like, Yoru is okay, but still, Jett is 10 times better. On Haven as well. I mean, Yoru is okay, good, but Jett and Omen are still a bit better in my opinion. So on the maps where you struggle with Yoru, you can test other agents just to develop yourself as a player and diversify yourself as a player a bit better. To learn the game from the other perspective. Like, I mean, that's another mistake with the players. Like, you can one trick one agent up to Radiant, but you will be a really, really dumb Radiant player. You know? Like, all of these series and challenges, like going from Iron 1 to Radiant with this gun, this agent, that agent, it helped me a lot to become more versatile and better player and understand the game a bit better. A lot better. What about Sky? Fuck the Sky, bro. Like, personally, Sky is shit right now, and I wouldn't touch that agent until, like, Immortal 3 and Radiant. Like, I will maybe play Sky on Lotus. Maybe. No, I'm not gonna. Like, on which map you wanna play Sky? You know? Like, let me see. On Icebox, Sova is the best, and Gecko up to Immortal 3. Haven, Sova, Breach are better than Sky, and I would play Gecko until Immortal or something. Ascent, Sova, KO, Breach are better than Sky. Abyss, Sky is shit. Lotus, why would you play Sky instead of Breach and Gecko? Sunset, Sova and Gecko are 10 times better. And maybe on Bind you can play Sky, but still, I don't know, man. Like, she is very, very underwhelming. Mega underwhelming. So, yeah, that's the only map where maybe you can play Sky, but personally, I would fill Sky on Bind only from Immortal 3 upwards. Up to Immortal 3. Yoru, Jet, Omen, Gecko, everything else is... I will play Cypher rather than Sky on Bind. And you will have higher chances of winning that match. I don't know. Now, when it comes to your general statistics, we're gonna take a look at the previous act, to be honest. So, you played 180 matches. This is really good. Really good tracker, to be honest. Really, really nice tracker. Good ADR, because this is the act where he got Ascendant 1. 160 ADR, that is a good ADR number. 170, like, all of your stats from the previous act are really, really good. You know? I think the main problem in that act was probably your MMR, because in Valorant, whenever you reach your new peak rank, your MMR, you know, is kind of stopping you to progress. Like, Valorant really likes and loves if you spend more time in the game to spend, you know, more money on the skins. So, like, whenever you reach your new peak rank, you usually need to wait, like, one act in order to reach another peak. Because when you got Ascendant 1, you were probably getting, like, I don't know, for the first time, you were probably getting, like, plus, I don't know, 16 and losing, like, 16, 17, 18. Something like that. Basically, in Valorant, the more you win, the less rank rating you're getting, and also you're gonna be getting worse teammates. So, having a 54% win rate and getting Ascendant 1 as an average player that is trying to improve, this is really good. This is really good. Like, I definitely think that during this episode and this act, if you keep this performance from the previous act, and you do the training that I'm gonna share with you, and you implement the solutions that we're gonna discuss, you can easily get Immortal for the first time, you know, Immortal 1, Immortal 2. And then maybe in the Act 2, you can get maybe Immortal 2, Immortal 3. And then in the Act 3 of Episode 9, we can maybe speak about getting Radiant for the first time. Because of the MMR, there's no fixing that. You just need to win, like, or you just get a bit of lucky games. Like, I mean, you know. Actually, this is the episode episode 8, Act 3. And he got Ascendant 1 here. So 131 matches. ADR, good. KD, optimal. I mean, 1 KD is like a, you know, a threshold for a optimal KD. Having a KD below 1 is really, really bad. Like, really, really bad. You should be able to trade yourself for at least 1 kill. But if you want to carry these Ascendant 1 games and go into Immortal, you need to have a KD of at least like 1.1 or 1.15, to be honest. That's like better. And one huge problem that you have is your KST. Brother, right now, you got into something that we call a medium babysitting elo. Ascendant 1 to Immortal 2. In this elo, You don't even trust your own mother when it comes to winning the rounds and closing out the games. Your mom is playing with you and she's radiant. You don't give a shit. You need to contribute to winning the rounds and winning the games. Essentially, this is the elo where the main focus of yours should be proper team play and understanding how to compensate their mistakes and what should you do when your teammates do, you know, something like basically your teammates make an aim move. What should be your aim move? Like, what is a KST? KST is the number that generally tells you like how good of a team player you are and how well do you play the refrag game. Like, low KST means that you're dying way too many times alone. You're not a valuable teammate. Actually, you're not a valuable solo player that can actually carry the games. Like, your ADR and KD doesn't matter at all. They don't matter at all if your KST is low. Essentially, you need to be you need to have abnormally high ADR and KD in order to have a high win rate with a low KST. Like, KST basically, you know, how many kills you get, assists, how many times you survived and traded a kill. Like, this is going to be a huge problem for you if you don't improve it. Like, understanding proper ranked team play in Valorant is mega important. Because ranked team play has nothing to do with you know, VCT team play or Radiant team play. You know, like, you consistently need to change the way how you play around and with your random teammates, depending in which elo you play at that moment of time. You know, you need to have a completely different approach from Iron 1 to Diamond 3, from Ascendant 1 to Immortal 2, and from Immortal 3 to Radiant. Like, I don't play the same in Ascendant and Radiant lobbies, for an example. Basically, what is a good KST? 74 to 76%. And everything above. Optimal is like 72, 74. You know, 73, 74, something like that. And everything below 72% is like suboptimal or bad. 69% is mega bad. Mega bad KST. Really, really bad. Like, that is why you don't have a high impact. Like, only God knows how many times you die alone in some solo gunfights. How many times you get a kill, like 2 kills and then die and then you pray to God like, my teammates are gonna win a 4v3. Brother. In Ascendant Elo, you never know with what type of monkeys you're playing. Like, the full-on jungle, bro. Like, you need to compensate every mistake. Like, just tune into the Voodoo streams and look at him playing the game. Like, you're playing with Voodoo. You're playing with the guys that he is also playing with. Like, recently I've been watching like almost every single day, like for 30 minutes Voodoo, because it's very interesting to see his depression in Ascendant while he can apply some very easy solutions to get into Immortal 3 really, really fast. It's just, you know, it's a complete jungle, and if you want to go from Ascendant 1 to Immortal 2, Immortal 3, you really need to improve like how you play with your teammates in this elo, and you need to you need to focus equally on what your enemies are doing and what your teammates are doing as well, and to compensate their mistakes and understand how to compensate them. So we're going to focus that during the VOD review. Here's a percentage of mechanical skills. I mean, your general mechanical stats are like okay, you know, not too shabby. Like 36% headshot with the Vandal, 24% overall, like whatever. Clutch percentage really low because your KST is low. I mean, how are you gonna clutch the rounds when you're dead 90% of the times? You know. But having a clutch percentage number of 1.3% is really bad. That means that you can do something better in 1v1 and 1v2 rounds. Like something much better. Like, this number cannot be below 4 or 5% minimum. Now, amount of last deaths in this elo needs to be 1-4 ratio. So you played 131 matches and you were last alive 235 times. Basically, in medium elo, you need to have at least 4 or 5 last deaths every single match. Minimum. So in 131 matches, you should have like 500 last deaths. If you actually want to control the outcome of your rounds and matches. Like basically, you know, this tracker is absolutely reflecting every single question and every single problem that we've discussed at the start of this VOD review. Absolutely. Like, you're just not controlling the outcome of your rounds and your games. Like, you're doing way too many things that you're not paid for and that you should not do at all. And you're not paid at all, which is even worse. You're doing overtime. You're doing overtime job. Like, are you crazy, man? Now, attack is like, okay, I mean, not that good, obviously. So, I mean, both your attack and defense are kinda underwhelming, you know. Like, you're not able to go above 1 KD. Like, win rate is consistently around, like, 49-50%. Like, definitely you struggle on defense a bit more, which is really bad, because on the defender side, that is where you control the outcome of your games. You don't control the outcome of your games on the attacker's side, because you cannot push enemies alone, counter the enemies alone. Like, it's much easier to carry ranked matches in Valorant on defense than on attack, if you're good at predicting the enemies and, you know, like, positioning properly on the map. That's why map knowledge is important. When it comes to the loadouts, okay, your full buy rounds are good, obviously, except that the KST can be a bit better. Semi rounds, okay, with a, you know, your semi rounds are optimal with a terrible KST. Your pistol rounds are a huge problem in this CLO, generally, in Valorant. Like, pistol rounds should be on the same level as your full buy rounds. You need to have at least like 1.1, 1.15 KD, very good ADR, very good ACS, and very good KST. Like, pistol rounds are the most important rounds in a game, because they dictate the rest, you know, our economy, and they dictate like the next like 2, 3, 4 rounds in a row. So like, I put a huge focus on how I play the pistol rounds, which strategy I do on the maps. Like, the first 4 rounds are the rounds where I have like 300 focus, 300% focus, essentially. Especially the first rounds. You will see in the first rounds I take abnormal amount of kills. Like, I take like almost every single first round I take like 2, 3, 4. Sometimes even I make like, if there is a round where I'm gonna make an ace, is the first round. Like, you either need to practice pistols more, you know, abusing the pistols and using like easier strategies to take some cheesy kills and play on a refrag potential. Maybe you need to change the mindset in the pistol rounds. Maybe you need to change the strategies and tactics. Or maybe you need to just practice, you know, how you're using the pistols, and then that's it. We'll see what's your problem. We'll see what's your problem. And in eco rounds, you're absolutely terrible. Like, basically, in eco rounds, you should be able to trade yourself for at least 1 kill. Minimum 1 kill. Like, your KD should be like 0.9 to 1 minimum. Like, 0.7 is horrendous. But probably because you're playing only a Ghost and Sheriff and Frenzy and that type of shit. And you never touched Shorty in your life. Okay. Now, we have another problem. You have way too many kills on Vandal and Phantom compared to other weapons. You are not a diversified player. Versatile player. Like, this is impossible that you have 1300 kills on Phantom and Vandal, and only one, like, your second weapon is Ghost with 180 kills. How is that possible? Like, which weapon you play depends on the strategy that you want to do, depends on the map, depends on economy. Like, it's impossible to have so many kills on Vandal and Phantom and to have like 2 kills on Odin, which is one of the overpowered weapons on the maps such as Lotus, Haven, Ascent. 9 kills on Shorty. 9 kills on Shorty as a Yoru player. What do you carry in the ultimate? Like, Bucky? I mean, even with Bucky, you have like 10 kills. Judge, 21 kills only. Brother, bind defender side. Bind attacker side with Yoru. Ascent. Like, there's so many situations where you can use your Judge as a main weapon to take some easy kills. Operator, 17 kills. In a Diamond Ascendant Elo. Free Elo stick. Free Elo stick. Outlaw, 0 kills. I didn't even see it, bro. Outlaw, 0 kills. Listen. Like, it is 10 times easier reaching Radiant by abusing every single weapon in the game and every single cheesy strategy that exists instead of playing Valorant on a hard mode where you only play with the one-tap weapons and you're only forcing Vandal, Phantom, Ghost, Spectre, Marshal, Sheriff, etc, etc. Like, that is fucking stupid. Absolutely stupid. You're just making your job 10 times harder and you are not a versatile player. But even the pro players, they play Judge 24/7. They play Outlaw 24/7. Play this, play that. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, in the top 7 weapons for you, there needs to be like Shorty, Vandal or Phantom, Operator, Outlaw, Stinger, 2 pistols, and then like everything else. Like, it's just, you're not a useful asset to your teammates in every single round that you play. And now I see like why you're, you know, like why in pistol rounds you play like shit. Like, my dude is playing Ghost with a Yoru. Like, my dude is playing in the first round Ghost with a Yoru. Brother. On Haven, classic pistol Shorty strategy. Bind, classic and Shorty, defender side. Then we have like Split, classic and Shorty. Like, there's 2 more maps where we do classic pistol Shorty strategy. Then on the attacker side, on 80% of the maps, you should go with a classic pistol, light shield, flash, and fake out. And 1 teleport. Why? Because your job is not to fight at the choke points. Your job is to send a TP, flash TP, with a fake out, enter the site, medium close range gunfights with a light shield. Triple shot weapon. It's easier abusing this shit than going for the 1-taps with a Ghost. Like, your weapon versatility needs to be much, much better. And that is one of your main problems as well. Like, beside many other problems that we've discussed right now. So yeah. Okay. That would be the tracker. And now I think it is time to finally dive and see what type of player our friend Daiko actually is. Okay, now let's dive into Sunset, Yoru, and we are starting on the attacker side. So first of all, the story of Sunset on the attacker side. Your default bomb site and number 1 priority is B site. Your number 2 priority, A site. Number 3 priority, mid area of the map. Essentially, in the first 4 to 6 rounds, you want to test the enemies on A and B, basically doing 5-man pushes together, seeing how they respond to your executes and if that works for you. If the 5-man pushes and executes actually work, you're managing to get in a post-plan scenarios, continue abusing that playstyle as long as it works. If it doesn't work for like 2 or 3 rounds in a row, switch it up. We need to test the enemies on mid and do something with the mid area of the map. Basically, maybe split the B site through the market, maybe apply the pressure at the top mid, anything. Maybe get some free picks and free kills in the mid area of the map, or we need to default a bit more. Now, what is the best pattern of pushing? Now you asked me on the attacker side. Well, the best pattern of pushing is the following. Enemies don't have Cypher. 3 rounds in a row, we push B site. In the 4th round, we fake B and we go A. Enemies do have Cypher. 3 rounds in a row, we're pushing A site. And then in a 4th round, we fake A and we end up B. Who should fake the site? usually Initiator and your most useless teammate at that moment of time. So basically, I don't know, Chamber, some kind of a Sentinel, like, you know, if you have ISO, like, and Jet in a team, ISO should be the one faking as well. Like, people with a lot of utility and people that don't really matter in the post plan that much. Now, when it comes to, like, I mean, Initiators do matter, but, I mean, Initiators have the most amount of utility to actually fake the bomb site. Now, let's see what our friend Daiko is gonna do on the attacker side of Sunset. So first of all, enemies do have Cypher. We are playing Yoru, and I'm calling to my teammates, hey motherfuckers, let's push the A site together. Yoru faking, yes, like, I mean, if you're playing Yoru, you can also fake. Like, basically, you know, at the start of the round, you can play some kind of a, you know, fake TP. Like this, maybe, you know, that's gonna go all the way down, not fake TP, but fast rotation TP, and then basically you fake with a flash, fake with a, you know, clone, and then you can TP out when the when your team has here rotation from B, TP out and go with your teammates. Sure, you can do that. Now, in the first round with Yoru, on the attacker side of 80% of the maps, I would always play classic pistol, light shield, fake out, and one flash. Basically, your main job is to avoid the gunfights in the main areas of the map and to execute the site with a TP, flash, and fake out. Also on Sunset, majority of the gunfights are like medium range and in close range gunfights, so you don't need a ghost, you don't need a sheriff, and if one of your teammates die with a ghost or you kill an enemy with a ghost, voila, you have a light shield and you have a ghost in your hands and you're a juggernaut. Now, we're pushing A set. Let's see our team composition. We're instantly telling our Cypher, Brotheroni, can you do a camera right here? We have a Gecko in our team. We're instantly telling our Gekimus, Gecko brother, can you do this flash through the window for the elbow? And we're pushing the A site together. How does the flash look like? Like, basically you aim up here, run, jump throw, and basically the Gecko flash is gonna go through the window and you'll be able to pick it up. That's what your teammates should do, and that is what you should call to your teammates. Now, you as a Yoru, like, if you have this type of utility, we don't need to use any utility at all, you know, to push here. But if your teammates are not using this utility, then, you know, like, maybe doing some kind of a pop flash would be actually good to essentially, you know, push the enemies back. If you don't have any recon tool, any flash on the left, like, we really don't want to die in the main areas of the maps and instead of this choke point. With the Gecko, like, why I cannot recommend Gecko in low elo lobbies from Iron 1 to Diamond 3, because it requires high levels of adaptiveness and versatility as a player. Like, basically, with Yoru, nothing is really set in stone, you know? Like, everything is, like, kind of just adapting to this, adapting to that. Like, you are creating the scenarios that you want to play. Like, yes, there are some lineups, there are some TPs and some plays that should be set in stone. Like, for example, where you're putting your teleport to perform and execute. But a lot of the things are simply just adaptiveness. You know, adapting to different scenarios. Now, let's see what our friend, you know, is gonna do and how he's gonna play this first round. That's basically the reason why I cannot tell you what I would do in this first round when I'm pushing A set with Yoru, is because it really depends on, you know, in what type of scenario I'm gonna end up. But always remember, when you're playing Sunset on the attacker side, you never want to touch a short area of the map, only if your teammates are carrying the spike in the A short. And your main priority is taking the elbow control and doing the executes from the elbow. Why? Because you have many more better executes from the elbow instead of going from the stupid A short area of the map. Now let's see what he's gonna do and how he's gonna play this first round.
Where is everyone?
Okay.
All of us.
I would never buy a ghost in the first round of Sunset with Yoru. Literally, you don't need it. Like, it's better to have a fake out, light shield and a flash. Okay, we have a camera, we have a flash. We don't need to use any piece of utility. I wouldn't do this this play that he's doing right now. I mean, it is way too early to send the teleport into elbow and to pre-assume how enemies are gonna play. Only God knows how enemies are gonna play in this first round. Like in the first round with Yoru, I would never in my life do some kind of an outplay in the main areas of the map. Like for example, you know, on Ascent, sending the teleport here and going for a flash and getting here. Like you need to save your TP and utility for the actual bomb site execute. I mean, on Sunset, it doesn't matter that much because, you know, it's easy to end up on site through the choke points, but still, these type of plays you want to do if you don't have a proper utility from your teammates and if you actually know how enemies are playing in this, like, A-main area of the map. Like, it is way too early for this type of a play. It's just waste of utility. Also, this flash in the elbow, like, I mean, 10 times better flash for the elbow. For the elbow is the flash here. Literally 10 times better flash. Instead of doing the flash in front of you. Like, when you're playing Gecko. Oh, so, why am I talking about Gecko? Sorry, guys. I played Gecko so much, like, in the last 2 months. Like, my brain is fried. When you're playing Yoru, like, your main job with the flashes is always to make your flashes invisible. Or at least unpredictable. So enemies have no idea from which direction you're peeking them, for what type of play you're going. Are you going for a TP? Are you going for a peek? Etc, etc. Like, you want to rely on the pixel flashes, on the pop flashes, on, you know, one-way flashes. Like, there's so many different flashes we can do with Yoru. And I covered every single flash that we have with Yoru in my ranked playbook on my Discord server. Like that, all of the general guides for Yoru are completely covered. So for an example, if I'm already doing this TP, you know, to go there, I would much rather do this flash and then teleport and go in. Done. And enemies most of the time don't have enough time to get into this position. So they're gonna be here, they will be getting flashed from your flash, and that's it. The problem of this flash here is that, you see how it bounces? Like, enemies are gonna see it, you know, they're gonna see the trail. They can easily do this and do this. But if you do a flash like this, yes, they still see it. But what is the benefit of the, you know, make sure that you're aiming properly like there. But what is the benefit of that flash? They cannot jiggle peek it. I mean, they can maybe jiggle peek it here, you know, or hide all the way here, but they don't have time to peek you at the moment of time when you're pulling your gun out from the flash. There's probably better flashes that we can do, like, maybe there's something deeper that we can do. Like, actually your flash can bounce from this. But that doesn't do the proper job, like. Maybe if you bounce it from the left, right, so you send a teleport, pick up the flash, do this. Ah, Jesus Christ, like, you need to aim below the railing. And then bop. I mean, that's okay. But still, it's a bit too deep. It's a bit too deep. Long story short, the worst flashes you can do are the flashes that are going straight into the enemy's face and where enemies have a lot of time to dodge them. Period. Okay, that was a bit of a NPC fight. Let me see it again. Let me see the push here. What a stupid... Okay, let me coach you on a Gecko right now. So listen. You start at the barrier, right here. You aim up here. Run, jump, throw. Your flash is always gonna... Not always, but 95% of times is gonna end up here. And you will be able to pick it up. Like, you cannot just randomly throw your flash and be like, okay, I'm gonna let it stay there. So you cannot pick it up.
I need help.
Listen, here another problem of yours is like you're a pussy. Yes, you need help. You know, like I know there is one enemy, you don't want to take a solo fight. But brother, like your jet is pushing in. Like, your main goal in Valorant, when you're fighting the enemies, especially together with your teammates, is to pay attention on the proper positioning between you and your allies that are taking the gunfights. Like, you cannot stand here in this position while your Jett is running like a monkey trying to kill this enemy in the elbow. Like, at this moment of time, while the Jett was running, you needed to slowly close the gap, get at least in this position, jiggle picking it. As the Jett is peeking that angle, you're ready to swing. Like, the distance between you and your teammates is mega important, and something that a lot of Ascendant and low Immortal players never get right. Like, as I said, one of the main mistakes that low Immortal and Ascendant players are making in their gameplay is improper team play. Like, they just don't know how to play on a reframe potential, how to close out the rounds, like how to actually win the games, close out the games, essentially. This is something that you need to pay more attention on. Like, your eyes should be 50% of times on the minimap in this elo, and you need to consistently observe what the hell they're doing and for what type of play they're going.
To your right, Jett.
Now Jett can die, and voila. Now instead of playing a 4v3, we're playing a 2v3 scenario. How is that possible? Like, you knew the enemy Jett is stuck there. Instead of getting in a better position to isolate a better angle to fight together with your Jett, your pussy sitting back like, sorry, not sorry. You cannot do that. Like, sometimes you need to fight. I mean, you didn't need to fight the enemy Jett in a 1v1 fight. Like, obviously, it would be a really, really bad idea to go for a solo peek here and isolate that duel. But as your teammate is creeping in, you had to be ready for that fight.
Oh.
I don't know why they left the spike get landed. And another mistake here. Listen. What type of gun you have and what type of gun enemies have dictate what type of a gunfight you want to take. Obviously. Like, if I see that enemy Jett has a sheriff and she is stuck on the right side position of the elbow, I don't want to fight her in a long range fight. Because on this range where you're standing right now, if you headshot the Jett, she's not gonna die. She's gonna survive with 22 HP. If Jett headshots you, you're dead. So essentially, instead of extending the range between you and Jett, as soon as your Jett died, you were forced to take a fight. Like, these are the moments of times where you cannot be a pussy in Valorant. And where actually, you know, mechanical skill matters and you know, you just need to take a fight. But to be honest, like, she has a sheriff. She needs to go for a one-tap. You have a ghost. This duel actually works in your favor. Even though you have a worse weapon. Because, like, with the ghost, I can just maybe spam her a bit. You know, you don't need to be mega precise, like, essentially. And you have a higher spam potential. This Jett here, she needs to go for, you know, for one-taps and to kill you. Or maybe to go for 2 body shots. But in this range, you can fire 3 or 4 bullets from the ghost before she fires, like, 2 bullets of a sheriff, like, because of a higher fire rate. Like, what is a fire rate of this weapon? Like, 6.7, yeah, like, okay. I don't know, you know. Like, when you're in a numbers disadvantage, like, there is no pussy place. No pussy place. Like, you need to grab yourself by the cojones and isolate the 1v1 gunfights as best as you can. If I'm 1v3 in a post plant, the first 1v1 gunfight that enemies give me, I'm taking it. Of course, I'm gonna try to make my 1v1s work in my favor. Like, you know, if I have a ghost, enemies have a sheriff, I'll try to, you know, close the gap and try to kill that guy in the close range. If I have a flash, I'll try to go for some pop flash outplay, stuff like that, but like, what was the plan here? The plan was, like, to rotate into A main while Wingman is defusing the spike and 3 enemies are waiting for you. Like, what? Come on. No pussy plays from now on, but the main mistake in this round was not playing that refrag with her jet. Okay. We lost the first round. Nobody cares. In the second and third round, we push A set again. Don't be a pussy. Don't be idiot. Listen. The worst pattern of pushing that you can have in Valorant is one round pushing one site, second round doing some other thing, third round doing some fourth thing, fifth round you're back on... Like, don't create the A-B pattern yourself. This is the worst pattern in the game. Like, don't be afraid to repeat the plays 2 or 3 times in a row if there is a... to just test the enemies. Like, in a game of Valorant, you never know why you lost a round unless you test that execute, test that bomb site, test that push strategy tactic again. Like, essentially, whenever in Valorant something fails for you one time during your gameplay, I just call it a matter of luck. Like, yes, there's probably something better you could have done, and, you know, like, essentially, like, you know, maybe your teammates made a mistake, you made a mistake, it doesn't matter. But it's a matter of luck. Now, that means that I won't be afraid to repeat that same strategy, same everything, 2 times in a row. Now, if that same shit doesn't work for me 2 times in a row, then it is a matter of skill. You know, like, I need to figure out how to adapt this playstyle, this pattern of pushing, this, like, strategy, tactic, position to what the enemies are doing. So I will still do the same thing, but in a slightly different way. You know, you can always change 1 or 2 components in your executor positioning to make it look the same, but it's not actually the same. And if a certain strategy, tactic, or something doesn't work for you 3 rounds in a row, or 3 rounds during a specific game, it is absolutely dumb to repeat that same thing that didn't work. And this is the LSD rule, essentially. That is one of the first rules that I cover in my coaching videos and coaching sessions. Like, basically this rule I follow on both attackers and defender side, and that is how you kind of counter a lot of the other rules in Valorant. You know, you become more unpredictable, essentially. Now, so what this kind of means is that if you lose 4 rounds in a row, so if you lose 3 rounds in a row trying to do the same shit on attackers and defender side, you are dumb. If you lose 4 rounds in a row by trying to do the same thing that didn't work previous 3 rounds, you're absolute idiot. Absolute cretin. Like, you're just autopiloting at that moment of time. Now, in this second round, let's push A set again. On A set, at least, we have the information from the previous round. Now, you're asking yourself, Charlatan, what type of information we have? We have a really good information. Enemy jet is playing in the elbow with probably some kind of a long-range weapon. And enemy Astra pushed us on A short. So what we can do, at the start of the round, we can maybe send this teleport, buy the shorty, and buy 1 flash. So, we can do this, wait for TP to be close to A short, do this flash, and now, bop, try to kill the Astra. Like, that's the only information we have. Why not? You know, or we can ask for the Gecko to do the flash for us. Or, you know, we can send the TP towards the elbow. Now we can go for the play in the main area of the map, because we've seen in the previous round that enemies will fight aggressively for the A main area of the map. What if you do it for 12 rounds in a row and you lose it? Brother, then you either have Alzheimer or some disease, like, I don't know, bro. Like, you should visit a doctor. And yes, like, you know, one of your primary eco weapons and halberd weapons with, you know, Yoru should be shorty. Like, with a shorty, it is so easy to close the gap with the enemies, to go for the flash, you know, TP outplays. Like, instead of investing so many credits in utility in this round, I would have actually just bought 1 flash and shorty. Nothing else. Shorty, TP, 1 flash. I don't need anything else. And I have a full buy in the next round still. Aha, so you have a classic pistol, and you decide to pick mid area of the map like this. Like an Ascendant 1 player. I respect. I respect. And you wanna go pro in Valorant. Let's first get you to Radiant. So, if I have a classic pistol, first of all, I would never start top mid. If my teammates wanna go mid for some reason, I would never start here. Why would I take this duel ever in my life? You're just gonna die. I would always go from the tiles, you know, go here, and now jump spot the enemies here, jump spot the enemies here. And from this position, we can maybe set up some TP play to outplay the enemies. Like if I've seen the enemies there, maybe I can send this teleport, you know, jiggle pick the enemies and bait them. And now, as the teleport is traveling towards the enemies, we can do the flash here, and then TP and try to take a kill. When should you TP? When the TP is somewhere here. And try to kill that enemy. Why not? Like, in every eco round and half by round, you should be going for more aggro plays and essentially like for more risky plays. Like your main job in these rounds is to trade yourself for as many kills as possible before your teammates have a single chance to die during that round. Because it's much easier for your teammates to win an eco round 4v3, 4v4, 3v3 than winning it 5v5 in a default way. If you already want to pick the enemies on top mid, I would never in my life do this. What is this crosshair? Like, what is this peak? I wouldn't even jiggle pick these angles. Why would I do that? Like, I would just jump spot the enemies. I got a crosshair placement. Now I can swing with the peeker's advantage. Perfect crosshair placement and delete that enemy from existence. Also, here we can do some kind of a pop flash behind us. Like this. Easy kill. Done. But this was like GG well played, cool Tigers. GG well played, cool Tigers. Also going mid in an eco round on Sunset. I mean, like maybe if you have some, you know, if you have a smoke here and here, I don't know, like, I mean, enemies are gonna play outlaws. A lot of people love to play aggressively in mid, like, I don't know. Won't that result in me dying first? The whole aggro play, yes. But there is one rule that we follow in Valorant, and that is very, very important. Essentially, in eco rounds and half by rounds, you don't value your life as much as you value your life in full buy rounds, and the first round. On both attackers and defenders side. Like in eco rounds and half by rounds, my main mentality in ranked is like, I want to trade myself for as many kills as possible before my teammates even start dying. The first opportunity I have to take 1 or 2 kills, even if that is going to result in me dying, I'm going to take that opportunity with a shorty, classic, whatever I have. By doing some cheesy play. Flash TP, you know, classic shorty strategy, shit like that. Like, I'm building my ultimate, building my economy, damaging the enemy's economy, and giving my teammates higher chances of winning that round. Now, in this round, I mean, like, if I'm in the enemy team. So, in the first round, you went A, second round, mid. So, B set is my default site on a defender's side, and market. I'm gonna destroy you on the B set right now. If I'm the enemy jet, I'm destroying you basically there. If I'm Gecko, I'm playing on the B set and just shitting on you with my Cypher. Like, this round, I'm playing 3 people on B.
Boba and market.
Such a stupid pattern of pushing. What happened here?
Suka, bled. I have
Suka, bled. How you have a light shield in this round? You have 3,900 credits. Every single ability. Heavy shield Vandal. Fuck the light shield. Light shield against outlaw meta doesn't exist anymore. Like, if you have money for a heavy shield, you always buy the heavy shield. Like, I would never in my life buy a light shield and try to save my money for the next round. Now that the outlaw exists. Especially in this bonus round. I don't want to die from... I don't want to die from the one tap, like in the chest, from a body shot. Fanatic strategy light by brother. I have two questions for you. Do you see in your team anyone named like Durkee, Boaster, someone like that? And that's second question. Are you playing against evil geniuses or like against 5 random monkeys that are now gonna kill you with a fucking sheriffs and shit like that? Like in ranked solo queue, light shield meta never existed. If you follow the light shield meta, you're an imbecile essentially. You are stupid. Like the only elo in which was okay to follow that meta is like high elo. You know, above Immortal 3, 400 rank rating. Below Immortal 3, 400 rank rating. Brother, you have money for heavy shield, you buy heavy shield. You buy a gun, and the rest of the money goes into utility.
Okay, let's go.
But it still lets me have better economy, no? Yes, it lets you have better economy, but you know what else? You have less chances of winning this round. Now, the enemy jet that saved the sheriff from the first round can one-tap you with a sheriff on any range and shit on you. Now, maybe this extra 25 heavy shield, you know, light shield, will be important to clutch this round. Like, you always prioritize heavy shield over the guns. I mean, heavy shield and guns over the utility. Always. Unless you really need your abilities for some kind of an outplay, execute or something. Let's win this round and we're gonna have amazing economy, you know? Yo, this push on B is gonna be interesting. Okay, Cypher camera there was a bit late. I mean, if you have that camera, you're like basically the only angle where enemies can kill you in the B main is like that off angle there. But that is why I always place my camera here, so I also see the tip of the gun there. You know? Like, you should always place the Cypher camera here. With that camera, you don't need to be aware of the enemies in the B main, and back box like is the best piece of utility we can have for B main. All you need to do is just jump spot this angle, or, you know, jiggle clear it, like this, and then move forward, hug this wall, and now, when your teammates are close, get ready to peek together with them and contest the enemies.
Rolling. I'm flashing a fit to flash.
Okay, this execute that you did here was a bit premature. I would have waited like a few more seconds for my teammates to absolutely get ready. And when it comes to executing B site, like generally speaking, the absolutely best execute... Mimi! Thank you all for the raid of 16 people. Pepel. Listen, the absolutely best execute of Yoru on this map is the following. Like, you send the teleport in front of you here, instantly pull the flash, do this flash, and TP. You want to teleport here, so that you're not visible from the enemies here. These enemies, they're gonna be flashed. Like, one way or another. Like, even if they turn away from the flash, they're still gonna be flashed. Like, your job is to bounce this flash here, so it flashes the backside and flashes the enemies in the corner, and you're trying to teleport when your TP is here. Clearing this angle, maybe you can extend the push at the backside with a pop flash or, you know, flash behind you, clear the backside, and then focus on the enemies here. Like, I generally stay away from dashing there, satcheling there, teleporting there. With every agent, every dive agent, teleport agent, I kind of stay away from this position. Because Cypher players like to have a trip there, number one. Number two, if you end up here and your teammates are not following you, what then? You can also die from the enemies that are up there. Like if Charlatan is playing, you know, that off angle, what then? And what if I'm playing here and you TP on site? And your teammates are not up yet. You're dead. Like, the best spot to TP is usually this position. Like, somewhere around here. Just a simple, like, you know, teleport like this. And we can bounce the pop flash here, or, I don't know, like, you can bounce it from this side there, so it flashes the enemies at the backside as well. Make sure that you're not hitting these walls. Like, I mean, there's probably some lineup that you can use for this. So you're not hitting these elements, and that's it. Now, the second position, yes. The second position where I would teleport with Yoru would be the front side. But only when my teammates are going in, and most of the times, I would actually prefer to teleport somewhere here. Because people usually don't have any tripwires here, and also, like, enemies need to play all the way here in order to see you in that spot. So, like, essentially, you know, just send a teleport in front of you, flash like this through the, you know, like, through the smoke, or simply throw a normal flash like this, and TP. And you should teleport there. You need to flash just this corner, enemies at the backside, nothing else. Like, you can just do a pixel flash like this, to be honest. Like, you don't need to complicate it at all. And the third position where you can kind of TP is, like, basically right there. Or at the backside. I mean, like, every other teleport is just improvisation. I mean, you can from the B main, you can send your teleport, like, literally, you know, towards the market. Probably, like, if you aim, like, here. Is this possible? Can you send the teleport in the market? Or is it gonna get stuck there? It gets stuck there. Just a second. No, you cannot send it from this position. So you can only send it at the backside. To be honest, like, I mean, if you want to teleport market, like, there's better TPs anyway. This will go CT, definitely. It is possible. Maybe like this, huh? What? How is it possible? It's not possible, like. How does this teleport goes around this wall? Maybe it needs to grind more, like this. Grinder teleport. No? Somewhere here? That goes to Jesus Christ, man. That goes to Jesus. Okay. Now this one might go. But that's gonna take too much time, bro. Yeah. Okay. It can actually go there, and it goes all the way mid, bro. It can go all the way to the enemy spawn, and behind the A site. So you come here and you aim at this. Interesting. Interesting tech. And then, but this teleport is actually not bad. Because what you can do in some scenarios, like, you do this TP, aim up there, when the teleport is traveling from the wall, just like bop, bop, bop. It can be a good TP for this play. Okay. So, in this round, listen. Like, you know, your default play on the B side should kind of be like sending the TP here, doing this flash, and that's it. Like, try to avoid going on the left side. Also, another tip, like, if you ever execute the site in the way that you did right now, try to get away from this position as soon as possible. If your teammates are fighting backside, immediately fight backside. If your teammates are not pushing with you at all, either go back or continue the aggression at the backside. Like, you never want to stand here and fight the enemies. And let the enemies peek you from the market, from the backside, etc. If your teammates are pussy and they don't go in, you need to aggress the enemies forward. I mean, that's the only play you can actually do, like, most of the time. So here, instead of been chilling in this angle, you should have walked into the Cypher smoke and fight with your jet.
Time to jump.
120 side.
But I don't know, enemies have Alzheimer's, literally. Like, enemies are, like, stage 4 Alzheimer. Like what the fuck, bro? Like, how did they forget about you, man? Did they actually, they saw you on the minimap? They saw you there? You didn't use any other teleport? Like, what the hell, bro? Plus, they have the Cypher camera there. How is this possible? I mean, these 2 kills that you got, you didn't get them because you're good. You just got them because enemies are terrible, like.
Spike down B.
Okay, I would also pick the ultimate orb here.
Carrier is dead. Cutting through.
Last player.
Now, this teleport that you did here, I completely understand why you did it, but it is a bit dangerous, let's be honest. I mean, probably all of the enemies are on the B site, but who guarantees us that we're gonna pick up the spike right now? You know? I mean, we can maybe pick it with a pop flash, but it's gonna be mega dangerous. Let's see this.
Player standing.
I know exactly where you are.
Okay.
Drop in a smoke.
Dropping a smoke. I mean, generally speaking, like, the pattern of pushing that you chose on Sunset against this enemy team composition is absolutely stupid. Absolutely stupid. Nice kill. Okay, if we get one more kill, we can maybe win this round. I mean, we can definitely win this round with one more kill. TP is out. That's gonna be a problem.
No peeking.
That's really good. Okay, both enemies are there. They both spammed. Easy kills. Easy kill!
30 seconds.
I don't know, man. Like, here, you know, when the enemies are spamming like monkeys like this, it's so easy to abuse this shit. Because, like, 2 enemies are spamming the smoke. You just wait for one enemy to start reloading. You peek out, you take a kill. Second enemy is reloading. He needs to hide. You have another 1v1 fight. Like, in this 1v2, without the TP, because TP went out, I mean, like, that's your best bet to actually win this round.
Left.
Listen to them. I would just... Now. Literally, I will play much closer into the smoke. You know, I will play in the middle of the smoke. Right here. Because it is the most unlikely angle to be spammed. Like, they will probably spam like this, and then wait for one enemy to reload, peek out, and try to isolate a 1v1 fight. That is a really good timing to take the fight there.
One enemy remaining.
My ult's ready. Time to jump.
I mean, like, now, if you had a flash, to be honest. Ooh,
10 seconds left.
that's actually good. That's good play. Oh, that footstep. That was actually a really good play. Because we heard the jet on the right side. And there is a huge chance she is still right. This is a good gamble. This is a good gamble. I mean, jet can be backset as well, but... she's probably in that corner. No time now.
Nice, well played.
Send 5 more.
No. These are Ascendant players. You need to realize, guys, this is Ascendant elo, man. Like, there is no way that enemy jet doesn't know that he doesn't have time to plant the spike. Like, it was like 3-5.
Fuck.
0-3-5. So he started playing the spike at 0-3-6. Like, what the hell, bro? And you think Ascendant and Low Immortal is high elo. Come on. We're gonna speak. I'm gonna... Basically, we can talk about that. when you get Radiant for the first time. And then you can tell me, like, what you think about Ascendant and Immortal.
Nice, well played.
Send 5 more. We can do this again.
Okay.
Oh shite, I lost my pet rock.
Time to
I'm
jump.
ulting elbow.
Listen. Main tip when you have a Yoru ultimate. As soon as you build a Yoru ultimate, on the attacker's side, just call for a 5 and push somewhere. Insta 5 and push. Basically, there's no reason to split the map. There's no reason to play default. Nothing. Even if it is an eco round. Buy a shorty, buy a heavy shield, ultimate. You have ultimate teleports and flashes. You can be good for 1 kill, take the gun from the dead enemies, open the site for your team, and that's it.
One elbow jet.
Listen here, like, I think that, like, when I'm using the Yoru ult, like, I will usually fight the first enemy that I see with my ultimate. Or first enemy that I think will take an initial gunfight with my teammates. To be honest, if I have 2 flashes in ultimate, like, I would instantly use the first flash to push the enemy Astra back. Then I would go through the elbow. And as soon as I see this enemy jet, I'm taking that fight, man. Like, you cannot risk it. Like, so this is how I would have done this. Okay. First of all, I would not send my teleport here because it's way too risky. If some enemies decide to lurk through mid, you know, and I teleport there, and they're staring at my face, I'm dead. Like, if I'm going for the A push and A play, I usually place my TP. So I do this, do this, and then we see the Astra there. Let's flash her. Now Jet is here. Clone, flash, peek, and take a kill. If my teammates are already distracting that Jet, so the enemy Jet is going towards my teammates and she's completely ignoring me, just clone, getting out of the ultimate, and fighting together with my teammates. But I would never allow my teammates to take these fights that you allowed your teammates to take.
One elbow jet.
You trusted your teammates a lot in this round. Plus, your Jet has a Stinger, man. And your Cypher has a Bulldog.
Nice.
Okay, I mean... This was totally fine, like what he did here, like...
One enemy remaining.
Okay.
I'm back.
I mean, that flash was good. That flash was actually solid, you know, like... Beat tier flash that can work, you know.
One enemy remaining.
Just the aiming later was, like, horrific.
Back soon.
Flawless.
Watch it.
Okay, so the note that you should take, like, don't allow your teammates to take initial fights with the enemies. Don't trust them that much in this silo. Like, if you're already using a Yoru ultimate, use your clone, use your flashes to pressure the enemies and try to get a kill before your teammates even get a chance to fight that enemy.
I got
Okay? We're losing his mental health is, like, debatable.
I'm sorry. Hello.
Well, once again, like, you're taking way too much time to actually clear this elbow area of the map and to support your Jet on site. This needs to be much faster. Like, the push from A short should always be coordinated with the push from elbow. And you can coordinate it. Like, basically, how fast your teammates are pushing from opposite part of the map is how fast you should push from the current location where you are at that moment of time. Now, when it comes to this flash play, you know, another reason why this flash, you know, this flash is better is you're not flashing your teammates here, you know. That's another problem of this this flash. Then when you teleported, like, okay, I mean, I would have also taken that fight with the enemy jet. Not really while jumping, but I would actually take the gun and now go for a peek. I would jump spot the enemies instead of using, like, before using a clone. Always jump spot the enemies first, because maybe we don't need to use a clone at all. What we could have done is we could have used a clone to actually push together with a clone and clear this area of the map. Now, we jump spot the enemies here. We have a flash, we have a TP. We can set up a very basic TP setup there and wait for our teammates to go for the push. When our jet is pushing in, we can do some kind of a pop flash TP, or we can TP on the contact between enemies and the jet, and now double down onto the enemy that is backside.
Hello.
This push to the elbow needs to be much faster, man. Like,
Run, little man. Saw you, Mud. Cutting through.
now listen. So from the elbow onto the A side, you have a lot of different options for the TP place, you know. Like, simply, you can just do this. Teleport here. If CT is smoked. And basically just engage enemies on sight. If CT is not smoked, you can do this. You can flash the CT. Or basically pop flash it above here. TP. Maybe send a clone. Take the bomb site. You can simply TP here. Unfortunately, in this position, you don't have any pop flash from this spot. Like, you know, here we can always do this when we're going CT. To basically kill the enemies there. Like, this is a really strong flash. But on the site, like, from this position, probably the best thing you can do is bounce the flash from this spot. And then peek out and contest the enemies on the site. Now, if you have a benefit of getting into this spot, maybe behind the smoke or by peeking the enemies, I will always send my TP here and support it with some kind of a, you know, flash. Killing this guy, and that's it. Behind you there is a nice flash in elbow. I know, I mean, like, there's so many different, like, flashes you can do basically here to enter the site. Like, just make them as unpredictable as possible and try to flash the area of the map that, you know, from which enemies can see you at that moment of time. But it really depends what, you know, for what type of a play you want to go.
Careful here.
He was deep.
Now we have Alzheimer, brother. Like, our jet died 10 seconds ago from the enemy jet on the site. If that is the case, I need to, I mean, like, if my Gecko is going in and I'm gonna fight that jet, I need to go in as well and fight that jet. Like, what the fuck? You know? Like, also, you know, I'm not, like, that is what I thought you're going for here. I thought you're gonna fight this jet. Like, I thought you're gonna do some kind of a TP play like this. Or maybe, you know, like, what we can do in this scenario is, like, put a TP there, and then use a fake TP flash to make the enemy jet look towards that direction. Like, you know, you basically use a flash, and then when you do a teleport, she's gonna turn around, she's gonna get fully flashed, and you can peek forward. Like, this play also is amazing play when you can isolate an enemy in a 1v1 duel, and you know you can close the gap with an enemy that is gonna be fully flashed. Like, just a fake teleport with a flash. Like, you use the flash first, fake teleport. They're gonna be looking at the flash, ba ba boo ba ba ba. I don't know, like how we, like, why did we sell our Gecko here? Yoru is all about trying to outplay the enemies, but Yoru is same as Omen. You know, like, but Omen is better. Like, Omen is better. But, you know, You just play with the enemy's minds 24/7. You need to change your playstyles and adapt them on the go based on, you know, in which direction enemies think. And you're just testing, you know, what works, what doesn't work during the match.
Spike down A.
I got the spike.
Okay, one enemy is CT, one guy is A short.
Spike planted.
Ooh, that's a good smoke. To be honest here, ooh, that's a bad play. He heard this gecko make a footstep in the CT. Like, brother, if I have a smoke here, and I heard the footstep of an enemy here, and I have a flash, so I mean, like, there's no time to waste. That's the easiest kill ever. Like, just a bop. Enemy is dead. Of course, he can randomly spray you and, you know, like, go for that. For that type of shit. But you heard that one enemy is here. One enemy is here. I mean, yes, in a 2v2 scenario, it is stupid to isolate 1 versus 1 duels. Like, you should play with your Cypher on a refrag potential and all of that shit. But if you, like, already have a chance to get an easy kill, do it. Essentially, whenever you're taking a 1v1 fight, and you think that that fight is not a 50-50 fight, you should take it. You know, you need to make a real distinction between 90-10, 70-30, and 50-50 gunfights. And in the previous VOD review that I did on my second YouTube channel, like, I talked about this. Like, I think it is the Radiant Coaching VOD review, like, number 97. Like, I talked about what is a 90-10, 70-30, and a 50-50 gunfight. Like, if I'm already engaging enemies with some kind of a pop flash, TP outplay, paranoia, fighting enemies together with my teammates, take that fight. You know, you're holding good off angles, unpredictable positions, take that fight. You're holding angles where you can drop down, you know, like this. You can take that fight. Because after a burst fire or 1 bullet, you can drop down. You're holding a tight pixel angle, like this. Take that fight. You know, 1 bullet, burst fire, that's it. You can quickly reposition. Here, you should have committed to this fight. I know, like, you don't need to. You know, like, you don't need to. But still, like, I mean, you know, you're playing Yoru. You have a really strong flash. Yoru pop flashes are really, really good. And when you can get an easy kill like that, you need to grab yourself by the cojones and just go. You know, hombre, just go. I think this is the first VOD review where, like, a player is playing like a complete pussy. Usually, I recommend players to be more pussycats, but in this VOD, you just need it to be like a Julio Gomez, you know, like 9.5 inches, like, just straight up in the enemy's face, and, you know.
Portal closed.
And also, Yoru is the agent, you know, that really has a strong kit for aggression, you know, like, same as Omen.
1 enemy remaining.
I mean, also, you know, let's talk about this. Like, if I already decided in this 2v2 scenario to go somewhere, so we have a smoke here, my Cypher is here, we know that enemies cannot be behind us, Raze was here, Gecko was here, and I'm here. Like, where do I go? I'm definitely not gonna go elbow and let my Cypher isolate some stupid 1v1 fight, and then maybe I'm gonna end up also in some 1v1 fight. Like, what do we do in this scenario is simply we connect with our Cypher and play with our Cypher. We can hold the site from this position. Cypher is holding this. We are playing on a refrag potential. Now Raze probably went. I don't know where's the Raze, but she cannot be behind us. We have a tripwire.
Drop in a smoke.
And also, listen, like, when you're playing alone in the elbow, and the spike is planted, you know, default. Here. I never play this close to the wall. I don't want to get Ferrari peeked by the satchel. I don't want to get flashed like... usually the spot that you want to play is here. You know, holding this angle or jiggle peeking it. Like this. Or like this. Because anyways, like, you know, spike is not miles away from you. Like, spike is really close. Like, if enemies tap the spike, I can still, like, you know, go for a play and try to kill the enemies. Like, they don't have time to defuse the spike. But we need to take more cover in the elbow. Because right now, the Raze, I don't know, like... To be honest, maybe Raze is AFK, like... It doesn't matter. I don't know, she played exits.
Flash like this, like this.
Aha, so we figured out that A set is working for us, and we are like, nah, man. Let's go B and let's lose another round against enemy Cypher on the B side. Very smart. Listen, when you push some kind of a bomb site in Valorant 2 times in a row, do it the 3rd time as well, and in the middle of the match, you can also create this pattern of pushing. Pushing the 1 bomb site 3 rounds in a row, and then in a 4th round, doing the fake. Because you create enormous amount of pressure, like, if you push 1 bomb site 3 rounds in a row, and God forbid, you win all 3 rounds in a row. Like, you know, in that 4th round, people are naturally gonna start rotating faster. It's not always gonna happen, but I guarantee you, 80% of times, enemies are gonna rotate like a potatoes. They're gonna be mega fast on that rotation.
Back at flash side.
Ult, okay. My clone will trigger the trips, and then your ult can just go through, okay?
We need to jiggle pick this angle and jump spot it. Ah! The enemy jet could have been there with the operator.
I'm gonna let you know.
No, don't pick that angle with the utility out. Cancer. I got stage 4. Listen, like... When you're... Like... How? I want to ask you one thing. Harry, are you a fucking wizard, mate? Like, how you know that someone is maybe not... That enemy jet is maybe not holding this off angle, this angle. Maybe she's gonna go for a jiggle pick. Maybe she's playing here. I like playing this angle with a chamber and jet a lot. Like, also this position here. Like, how you know that nobody is here? Like, before I pull out any piece of utility from my hands, I need to at least do this. Or we just need to clear all of these angles 1 by 1. And then I can pull out my utility. Like, I cannot pick this angle first by pulling out my, I don't know, fake out or something. You just go forward, jump spot the enemies. Now, fake out, fake out. Let's go. That's it. Just don't flash yourself.
I'm cloning now.
Don't miss your flash.
Go.
Also, listen, like, when you're doing a fake out, like, try really to make it look like a, you know, like it's you, brother. Don't just randomly throw it left and... I mean, I completely understand that right now our main job is to just, you know, to just, like, reveal the Cypher trips and trigger them. But still, like, you know, why wouldn't you just throw the fake out like this? Do your execute from this position. Do it like this. You know, to make it more believable. Like, why not? Especially, like, maybe in some of the rounds we can try to do a fake clone. I don't know. So, yeah. Maybe. Because, like, I mean, if I'm the enemy Cypher, you know, playing on the bomb site, and you do this, and I see that, you know, this clone is looking towards this direction, I'm definitely not... There's no way I'm gonna shoot it. Absolutely no way. I mean, a smart Cypher player should not even shoot it to begin with. Try not to stay in this position for such a long period of time. So, already here, like, look at this. As soon... First of all, I don't know why you teleported here without doing any flash. Because you're still visible there. Like, you need a flash for the market or something. Like, basically, you know, you can do this TP, get in the enemy smoke, and just do this type of a flash and teleport. Or try to do, like, bounce the flash from this and now teleport. Like, you need to flash these guys that are playing here. Like, just bounce the flash from this banana tree here. Like this. And TP. Like, you need something to counter me. Now, you teleport here. Get the fuck away from this position. Like, instantly. Continue your aggression. Maybe with a TP, you know, with a flash at the backside, I don't know. Try to take more space. Get the fuck out of here.
Cutting through.
Because, like, now we created a problem. Now we created a huge problem, actually. Like, our Jet is alone on the bomb site. Fighting for her life. Two of our teammates are pushing through the choke point. And we are jerking off in the B main area of the map. Not able to support anyone.
Cypher setup is completely disabled.
Top mid.
Oh wait, no, it's not. I'm stupid.
Just a second. Uno momentos. Yo. Let's move forward. I wanna sneeze so fucking hard, man. And I hate sneezing. Like, sneezing is my worst enemy. My worst enemy. I sneeze, I lose like 50% of my physical health. Strength minus, man.
That's spike wing. The wingman
Now listen. This is a very, very common mistake of the Yoru players that I'm coaching. Don't use your flashes only for your own outplays. Help your teammates out as well. Like, if you already see that your Jet is fighting for her life at the backside, support her. Drop a flash. Like, do something. Like, you know, anything. Like, any pop flash thing that can help out. Like, this flash here is amazing, actually. When enemies are pushing CT. Because your teammates on site are not gonna get flashed here. And we can easily, like, support our Jet. And always remember, your main job in Valorant is to fight with the teammates that are the most aggressive, that are doing something useful for us, and that have the highest chances of dying. Right now, you don't want to go B main. Once again, where you wanted to end up is here. Like, this is like a main position from which I fight the enemies on the B side. Especially with the movement agents such as Yoru and Omen and Jet. Because from this spot, I'm able to support my teammates no matter what type of a fight they take. And that should be your priority as well.
Sorry, that's me.
Jet is
One enemy remaining.
Last minus 40.
One enemy remaining.
Now, after, you know, like, that kill on the Jet, like, you don't really need to peek anything or fight, like.
Last minus 40.
To be honest, if I saw that enemy, I would not even try to flick. Like, I don't know why he went for a swing here. Okay, I saw the Astra, I'm pulling out the knife, and I'm jumping towards the back box, and that's it. And just playing a post plant.
We know.
I don't know, that was just like, you know, IQ went to minus there. Okay, also, When you're one ultimate point away from the ultimate, it is same as if you have the ultimate. Just tell your teammates to play together as 5. No Cypher, you don't need to lurk, you don't need to flank, I'm gonna open the bomb set for you, and that's it. And please, for the love of God, always carry the shorty with yourself in every single full buy round, when you can afford it. Especially if you have the ultimate. Why? Because getting the shorty kills out of the ultimate is the easiest shit you can do. I think it is the easiest kill in any video game, essentially. Any FPS tactical shooter.
Gex, do your thing.
That's funny.
Cutting through.
Close.
I mean, like... Okay. Okay, listen, when you're clearing the elbow, like, don't be lazy. Don't be lazy. You know, people die from laziness. Like, you know, they become fat like Boogie and you know, they start scamming people with crypto coins and shit like that. So, you know, clear. One by one. Or at least jump spot the enemies. You know? And then take a fight with a peeker's advantage and perfect crosshair placement. Or maybe like we can use a clone to distract the enemies. Now go for a peek. But don't be lazy. You know, laziness is the main factor of death.
Elaine.
Time to jump.
Wait. So you want to tell me that you're using a passive teleport in a round where your teammates are already at A short and they are fighting the enemies? Superb. Superb way of thinking. Love it. Map awareness, 50 points. Brother, if 2 of my teammates are positioned like my Jet and Gecko, they're fighting the enemies. And my job is to go onto bomb site. Like, that is my job. Like, here, I'm setting some kind of a TP onto the site, and I'm going the fuck out. I was told to always prepare to have an escape TP. Not always. I mean, having escape TPs is good when you're using the ultimate to get a free kill, pick up the gun and get out. Having escape TPs is good like when enemies have some strong ultimates for the retakes. There's also like some other scenarios where escape TPs are good. But I mean, like if my teammates are, you know, in the enemy's anal cavity, right now, I need to go for some kind of an outplay and close the gap with the enemies. And fight together with my team. Like, the problem of this play that you're doing right now is that we're gonna end up in a crossfire. Like, this flash doesn't matter. Like, right now, this play is stupid. Because we can die from the CT, we can die from this angle, and our teammates don't see us, you know, this position and this position at all. Like, right now, it would have been 10 times better if you actually put your TP here, do some kind of a pop flash from top of the site to flash the enemies behind the box, and TP there, maybe send the clone to hunt for that enemy, close the gap with the Gecko and Jet, clear the backside, and now we have the side control, we can plant the spike, and focus on killing the enemies in the CT. Dude, there's no way someone is not backside.
Gecko one shot.
My ult's ready.
I can ult. I'm ulting.
I'll handle this.
But to be honest, like, from the start of this round, the main strategy that you should have told your teammates to do is, hey guys, let's pick up the orb, so I have the ultimate, and let's just run it down. You know, A site. Oh, look at that guy! Look! I don't know why he didn't kill you, to be honest. Like, I mean, Cypher players do love to, you know, to watch chat through bet like for way too long on the camera. But if I was this Cypher, I would have killed you as soon as you, as I saw you. You're not even looking in my direction.
Spike here. I'm back. your sight.
Nice.
Okay, a bit scuffed. I mean, it was okay. It was good.
Killed your sight.
There were not many like positions where you could have, you know, unalted because one enemy is CT, Cypher is here. Like, okay, fine. We don't need to take this fight. We don't need to take this fight. Just jump spot the enemies. Get ready to fight with your teammates. Okay, both enemies are CT. We don't need to fight. We need to be ready to peek with the gecko. We peek with the gecko in 3, 2. No, not alone. We're not going elbow. Why would we go elbow? No reason to go elbow. We can just fight on the side. Now we are isolating 1v1 fight, and we are praying to God that our gecko is gonna refrag us. Fuck this shit, bro. Fuck this shit. Listen, in this elo, if you're in a numbers advantage, you should be the one baiting the shit out of your teammates and getting ready to refrag them. Why? Because in every lobby below Immortal 3, only God knows what your teammates are gonna do once you die and once you're not alive, essentially. Like here, I would just be hiding behind the wall, waiting for my gecko to pick a fight, and getting ready to pick a perfect moment of time to refrag him. I wouldn't trust any player that is below Immortal with a fucking coin. Like, I wouldn't give them a stick. I trust my dog more than I trust these players. To be honest, like, why wouldn't I trust my dog? Like,
Huevo. Nice.
Cutting through.
okay, we talked about this.
Get out of my way.
And this is what I'm talking about, you know? This is what I'm talking about in the elbow. Like, you're kind of like... You teleport and you instantly swing. Without expecting an enemy to be on some kind of an off angle here. Like, you need to clear these angles a bit better. And expect that enemies will be playing here. In this position. No, panic mode maximum, huh?
Monster on the loose. Time to jump.
No, listen, don't place these escape like, first of all, this escape teleport is gonna go all the way into the T-spawn. If you use this teleport to TP... Actually, what the fuck? Sorry. That teleport is actually bad in general. Like, how are you gonna TP there? But you don't need to use... Like, I don't know. This just seems like a waste of a teleport. Like, you don't know in what type of a scenario you're gonna be. Your teammates are fighting enemies aggressively. You need to follow your teammates and fight with your teammates. And what you're doing is, like, you're staying in the elbow and you're using a teleport for the escape. What escape? From what? We just took a site. We're playing posted on a set of Sunset, which is very open and you have a lot of, you know, angles where you can fight. Okay. Homo got a hit.
Launching here.
Play with your teammates.
One enemy remaining.
80.
You need to pay more attention on proper positioning between you and your allies, and following up your most aggressive teammates a bit better, to refrag them and support them.
But don't push,
120.
Okay.
Can expect.
Smoke mid top. Low.
Brother. Swinging B main area of the map
Smoke mid.
like this. Plus, you don't have a Cypher camera or any info if the enemies are in the B main area of the map. Once again, you're either a wizard and you have a balls of steel, but the brain is shrinking with a rapid fire. So, like, what the fuck, bro? Like, if I don't have any information, if enemies can peek me here, I'm jump spotting the enemies. Clearing this angle, this angle, this angle, this angle. Maybe using a instant decoy so I can clear these positions. Clearing this. I'm gonna clear all of this with a mega caution. Shala, I forgot when you was Radiant. Go grind on your main account. Brother, last act I got Radiant on my main account. Like, chill a bit. This act we are chilling. I'm playing on my main account this act, but I just played like 20 matches. Like, to be honest, we have 70% win rate this act. Like, this act I might end up like with a really, really high win rate.
Drop in a smoke.
I don't know, listen man, like, if you don't have any recon utility that can clear this angle and this angle, you need to be aware of these positions and these peaks and this off angle and maybe some kind of a pop flash peak from here. Like, you need to be aware of all of these opportunities that can happen. Not opportunities, but all of these deaths that can happen for you.
Time to jump.
Flashing backside. Flash.
Oop. Okay.
Fire in the hole!
Cutting through.
Okay.
How the fuck
Okay.
did I survive that?
Reloading.
Market.
Okay, listen. Now when you're playing the post plant like on the B side of Sunset, and you're playing in the B main area of the map, to be honest, like the best play that you have in the B main area of the map is like using a, you know, this type of a flash and trying to get the kills. Like, this flash is the most powerful, like, essentially, you know, the one-way flash here and just taking a kill. Do we have to have scroll wheel as jump to jump peak? Not really. Huh, if I'm a silver, do you think Omen is a good agent? Yes. But, yes, obviously.
No peeking.
Okay. Okay, that smoke from the enemies is really, really good. This flash, absolutely stupid again. Listen, like, you're just... Your flashes are way too visible and way too dodgeable. Yes, that's a new term. Like, it's a dodgeable flash. Like here. If I'm playing Yoru, and now I need to engage the enemies that are defusing the spike and, you know, that are here, I'm not gonna use this flash. I mean, like, you know, enemies see the trail, it takes so much time for that flash to pop. I'm gonna use a pixel flash. Essentially, doing this. That is basically much harder to dodge. But I'm like, there's two enemies looking at your face fully flashed and you're not killing them. You panic a lot during the gunfights, I've noticed that, and when it comes to your mechanical skill, like, there's so many things you can work on. Like, for example, target switching is terrible for you. You know, we need to focus more on that switching between the targets. Micro corrections are like, you know, Christ help me. Crosshair placement from time to time, like, we can discuss it. Like, we will just, I'll give you some kind of aim training. Like, I'll figure it out after the VOD review, after the stream.
Last player standing.
I mean, that was like 2 easy kills, to be honest.
Time to jump.
What the fuck is this play, bro? Like, I mean, you never did this. You never did this in your life. This is the first time. But, brother, mother, father, like, you know, let's just repeat it one more time. If you're going for the elbow TP play, like, just put a TP here, bounce it from the rails there, teleport, that's it. You don't flash your teammates in the A main area of the map. Enemies are fully flashed. Ba ba boo ba ba ba. Plus you flash elbow way deeper. You know? Just make sure that you're not doing that, like, just aim below that fucking shit, and that's it. And stop, like, once you teleport, give yourself some time to breathe. You know, if the enemies are already not looking at your face, think. Think, Mark. Think. Like, look at that minimap. Look at your crosshair placement. Like, ask yourself, where can enemies be? Like, from which angle they can peek me? Like, you instantly are fighting the enemies. When I TP, first I recorrect my crosshair placement. Then I look at the minimap to see what the fuck is happening. Then I start clearing the angles like a normal human being. One at a time, jump spotting the enemies, etc, etc. I mean, I've seen like 10 times worse Ascendant and Immortal players than you. So you you're I would say like you're just an average Ascendant player that I'm coaching on Yoru. But you need to breathe a bit and think a lot more. Like, minimap. You know, what are my teammates doing? What should I do? Like, you are definitely missing that checklist. So probably like some kind of a training that I'm gonna recommend you is gonna primarily be oriented towards your like way of thinking in the game.
Someone on site. Someone on site.
Yeah. I mean, spamming through the smoke with low HP, okay. To be fair, like, he has a phantom, but I don't know, man. Too risky, I guess.
Time to jump.
Okay. Especially when you're low HP and you're about to execute a bomb site. You don't want to. You don't want to use a safe teleport to escape. Because when you're entering the site with 46 HP, the best thing you can do is go for some kind of an outplay and potentially get a few kills before you die. Like, right now, you cannot just push into the site on your feet with a flash and 46 HP. Also, like, I've noticed that you're very quick to drop these escape teleports. Wait a bit. You know, like wait. Basically, like, see if your teammates are gonna push the site, if they're ready to execute the site. See what's gonna happen. You know, like, you don't need to use this. Like, these escape teleports. The only time when you need to use them fast is if you already executed a site and you think you're gonna get fucked on the site. But because of the enemy's utility or some random spam or shit like that. But if you're still in the choke point, like, chill a bit. You know, wait for some better moment. You know, when your teammates are moving in, then use the escape TP. Why are people thinking Ascendant is the elo where everyone is magically tens? Brother, like, I've seen some Ascendant and Immortal players that play like silvers, like bronze basically. Like, while I've seen some silver players that play like Ascendant. So, you know, everyone is missing different things. Everybody grinds Valorant in a different way, like, and everybody is stuck because of different reasons. And everybody has, you know, he obviously submitted this game because it's a bad game for him. He didn't submit this match because he's the best player alive. We're here to learn. And I'm not roasting him for no reason. Like, he's gonna he's gonna remember this info a bit easier. Like, if he gets a bit of ass slapping.
Spike wings. Spike sticky. Thanks, little man. I know
Two on spot.
exactly where
Hey.
you are.
Okay, now we need to reposition. Yeah, good. But to be honest, listen, man, like, you have like 46 HP. We have a flash. I know that enemies have Astra Wall, but that Astra Wall might actually be really good for us. Like, Astra Ultimate can help us a lot. Because enemies are not gonna hear the flash coming from the opposite side of the wall. So I would still play in the beamman with my teammates. The only problem is here, like, Astra Pool and Nade. But I think Ray's already used the Nade, like, on the A side. I'm not sure. I kind of heard, like, some...
I hear Boba.
Okay. Okay, this is also a really good position to go for the pop flash play. Like, if I'm stuck here and enemies are pushing me through the CT, they basically, as soon as they exit this position and they go left, or I hear them here, like, you can just hold the flash, take a kill.
Enemy spotted B.
We need to flash, man.
One enemy remaining.
Or we just need to take that kill. What is Reyes doing? Nothing. You have some time to reflect. Okay. I don't know, like, Reyes didn't want to win this round.
Jet normally plays there. I'm gonna TP off your ult.
Cutting through.
No one left.
Dropping smokes.
Okay. Solid.
Awesome. No, gimme. I have.
Like I
No, Cypher!
Unlucky. Happens. Second. So, with that TP for the elbow.
No one left.
dropping smokes.
Awesome.
Okay. Cypher fucked up there.
I'll take it. Wingman's planting. Shot my wingman. I got the flank. Someone is
Okay, I mean, in this round, enemies are equal hull by. Like, whenever enemies are equal hull by, on a defender side, your main priority is to play together as 5. And just, you know, don't isolate 1v1 duels, play on a refrag potential, take the gunfights together, and that's it. Like, you don't need to go for some crazy outplays. And you should never go for some, like, whenever enemies are equal hull by, on a defender side, you never want to go for some crazy, you just want to do the most basic default, like, executes and fight with your team. Okay. Please, you know, when you're playing the pop flash agents, movement agents, like, I don't know, initiators, someone like Yoru with a very good flashes, Omen with the paranoia and smokes, like Jet with the smokes, like, your whole gameplay cannot be only self-centered. Like, you should still observe for what type of shit plays your teammates are going. Like, your Cypher right now is engaging enemies in a 1v1, 1v2 fight in the CT. Give him a flash before he peeks from the smoke. Like, those are the type of mistakes that you need to compensate. And that's why Jet, Omen, Raze, Yoru, Gecko, Claw, Cypher are such a great agents. Such a versatile agents. They can support their teammates in various different ways. And that's why I recommend you to main them. Not because they're, you know, they only have a solo carry potential.
cutting through.
Like right now, if I see my Cypher pushing his cage for no reason, like this, I'm dropping a pop flash through the cage, basically something like this, or bouncing it from here, to provide him any type of a support. So that this fight that he's gonna take is not a 50-50 fight completely.
One enemy remaining.
But okay, like, enemy Cypher just decided to play passively with the Raze. Pepito Glory! Nice camera. Okay, okay. And the final round on the attacker side.
Roll for the
I have no idea how the hell we are 8-3 to be honest.
shit jävlar. Refre.
Smokes.
Jump spot. We cannot swing these angles like a monkey. Okay, a bit better. We have the ultimate. We have a shorty. Okay. We almost died there. Okay, we are clearing the angles. In the smoke. In the smoke. Sight.
I don't.
Hello.
Gecko is
Habla español.
Gecko is market.
Brother, as soon as you saw that raise on the side, you should have, you know, like, flash, peek, kill. Also, if you have this type of a smoke in sight and you're using the ultimate, you need to clear that smoke. Like, you need to do this pathing or this pathing. Like, this smoke needs to be cleared.
Gecko is market. I don't see Cypher. Oh, there he is.
Okay, I mean, that flash could have been a bit better, but to be honest, like, enemies didn't give us single shit about you, basically. Like, you know. But, you know, another way how you can engage enemies from the ultimate is like, especially if enemies are aware of you ulting, you can un-ult on a position like this, use the fake out, you know, prepare your fake out on the ground, use the fake out, use the flash, make the enemies think that this is actually you. They're gonna shoot at your clone, and then you peek out and take easy kills. Okay, I mean, you can just do some kind of a flash in their face or pop flash and just delete them like this. But what is this? Like, what is this teleport for? I don't understand it. And why such a passive teleport? I don't get it. Like, what do you expect to do? To pick up the spike in the middle of the site and TP away? We're not gonna do that with 6 HP.
Oh shit.
Once again here, like, using a TP for some kind of a fake TP play on site, or I don't know, like, TP and flash would have been much better. Like, maybe, you know, sending... Just a second. Let me go back on the server.
I'll fight anybody. I'll fight everybody.
Just a second, just a second. That oh shit is me realizing it won't work. I mean, like, you know, his crosshair placement though, yeah, it needs some working, man. Like, crosshair placement is all over the, like, all over the placement, you know,
30 seconds left.
on every placement except where it should be. Now, you know, like, you have 2 teleports, and what we can do is maybe we can send one fake TP somewhere, like maybe, you know, come up here, do this teleport, or while you were in the ultimate, you could have placed your teleport somewhere. Then we fake the location, then use maybe this TP in combination with this flash to peek out, take some kills. Like, I don't know.
Oh, listen, I'm flashing in with pick, okay? Okay. Me too. You ready?
Reloading.
Put an entry smoke.
Enemy spotted B.
5 seconds.
Portal closed.
Entry smoke. No, like here. Entry smoke. So we can walk through.
Drop in a smoke.
Last player standing. 30 seconds left.
Oh, motherfucker, of course I had to flash
I got
myself.
the spike.
Well, nah. Not this time.
Switching.
we definitely need to spend some time in a custom server. You know, working on better flashes, pop flashes, and especially like when you're using a Yoru flash, you really need to think hard, like which angles you want to flash, like what you need to flash actually. You know, like for example, I don't know, man. I mean, you got 2 kills, you got yours, but like maybe we could have won this round. Maybe, like, you know. Okay, that's the attack. Just from this attacker side that I've seen, only God knows what you're doing on the attack of other maps. Like, you definitely need to use your flashes in a more efficient way, where you're using them as some kind of a pop flash. You know, you're hiding their trails, stuff like that. Your default executes, only God knows what type of executes you have on other maps. But when you're executing the bomb site, like, basically, all of the positions that I want to reach with a jet, smoke, and dash, with an omen teleport, are the positions that I want to reach with a Yoru as well. So basically, when you watch my ranked playbook for Jet, where I explain, you know, how to play the maps, everything that I'm doing with Jet, I'm trying to replicate with Omen. Just in a slightly different way, because I obviously have completely different, you know, utility. But the executes are kinda identical. You know, like if I'm, let's say for example, executing a set of Ascent. Like most of the time, I want to end up here. You know? There, or under the bomb site. Or here. In a safe locations where I'm not too overexposed and where I can, like, you know, support myself with a flash. And then wait for my teammates to come in and fight together with them. On bind, for an example, like, if I'm executing B site, 90% of times I want to end up here or here. And I'm flashing these corners, and then I'm waiting for my teammates and fighting with them at the backside, for an example. Obviously, like, what type of a PP play you want to do depends, you know, how the enemies are playing as well. But these are, like, you know, default positions that you want to reach. So, like, definitely, like, just watching your Sunset gameplay, I don't know, man, like, what you're doing on other maps. And also, like, always remember that these aggressive plays in the main areas of the map, you know, for example, doing a TP, as I said, like, on Ascent, like, here, and then using a flash to take the main area of the map, this is not something you want to do in the first round. Or maybe first 2 or 3 rounds, to be honest. Only when you see and when you notice that enemies are actually aggressive in the main areas of the map. Because, especially in the first round, if you notice, if you waste a TP and a flash just to take a B main area of the map, how the fuck with what I'm executing in the site then? Then I need to trust my Ascendant Gorilla Jet to actually do a proper job. And most of the times you're gonna have a fucking Mr. Proper in your team that is not doing a proper job. Like, think about it. Okay, that's the attack. I already have a really good idea what type of training I'm gonna give you, but we need to see the defense now. Okay, and the final thing that I want to mention about your attacker side before we start with the defense is, like, whenever you have hyper aggressive teammates, such as your Jet in this match was always dashing in, taking space, trying to fight the enemies, try to fight more with your allies. Like, having aggressive teammates in Valorant ranked, even if they're stupid, even if they're bad, is still better than having teammates that are passive and bad. Like, if I have a Jet that is not afraid to dash in, to take the fight, I will do everything that is in my capabilities to support that Jet, especially if I'm playing a secondary duelist or I'm playing, like, any agent. It doesn't matter. Like, you're always late on the attacker side to support your most aggressive teammates. But now, let's dive onto defense. TLDR of Sunset on a defender side. B site is your number 1 priority, default bomb site. A site, number 2 priority. We don't give a crap about B site and A site defense. Essentially, Sunset is a fast rotation map where you should rotate almost on the first contact or make some kind of a move on the first contact between enemies and your allies. On this map, what is more important is like playing together, playing on a refrag potential, supporting your teammates that have the highest chances of dying, and we always want to have some control in market and top mid. Like top mid and market control is always more important than the control of the B site and A site. You can play retakes 5v5 as much as you want, and you should always value your life more than map control. Unless you're playing some eco rounds, halberd rounds, then you can maybe trade yourself for a few kills, obviously. And in the first 4 or 5 rounds, you know, we can play a bit more passively. But if you notice that a passive playstyle is not working for you, then we need to play more aggressive towards the B main or A main area of the map and to search for some picks there. Fortunately enough, you're playing Yoru, and with Yoru there is enormous amount of aggressive plays that you can do in the B main and A main area of the map. Especially if enemies don't have a cipher cam and shit like that. Like, there's so many things you can do, basically. Like, you can tell one of your teammates to destroy the camera, get behind here, you know, shift, put a TP for a fast repositioning. Enemies are coming in, bop, 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 easy kills. Enemies are coming in, bop, 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 easy kills, you know, like, also what we can do, we can place a fake out for the second peak. You know, we do this, try to take a kill, then we do a fake out, enemies get flashed again, bop, 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 take a kill, then we can do another flash, maybe go for another peek, take a kill. Maybe, you know, you don't need to instantly place your teleport to escape. We can maybe place a TP there. And now, enemies are pushing in, bop, 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 bop. Bop, 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 bop. Like, you can outplay enemies in so many different ways in the B main area of the map. Like, you can play with their brain and mind 24/7. Same goes for the A main as well. Like, what you can do, for an example, is like, you can put your fake out here, and then we can basically do the fake out, do the flash here. Enemies are gonna shoot the fake out, try to peek with the fake out, that's it. Like, I'm gonna showcase you everything as we go through the VOD. Now, what do we do in the first round with Yoru? In the first round on Sunset, I would always start and play in the market. I would buy a classic pistol, light shield, flash, and fake out. At the start of the round, I'm placing my teleport for a fast rotation towards the A site, closing the market doors, and I'm playing passively the B side with my teammates. Make sure that this teleport always ends up in the CT. Like, you don't want this teleport to end up here, where I did it. Like, basically, you know, this would be good enough, essentially. Like, aiming towards this wall, yeah, TP goes into CT, and then we can TP behind the enemy smoke as they're executing the A site. First round is always a gamble. You know, I play market and I play around B side because that is our default site on this map. But, you know, no one can tell you exactly where the enemies are gonna go. But based on my private stats, like around 60 or 70% of the times, enemies are actually gonna push you on B side in the first round, and only 30 to 40% of the times is going to be the A push. And that's why we play market. With a fake out and flash, rather, you know, you can do so many plays from this smoke here. You don't need to play aggro at all. I let the enemies push a bit. We can place a fake out here. We can do this type of a flash. Use a fake out. Make the enemies think that that's you pushing out with a flash. Enemies destroy the clone, bop, 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 take a few kills, go back. Like, adaptiveness is mega important with Yoru. Mega important. Let's see what you're gonna do. And remember that on Sunset, whenever you're not fighting aggressively for the mid area of the map, always close the market doors. We don't need market.
No worries.
We don't need doors open,
Like
you know?
Dude, enjoy it. I don't like off.
This is also good what you're doing, you know? But the thing is, like, emphasize to your teammates to always close the market doors. This is a good lineup. This is a good lineup for the A rotation. Good, good.
Like
Not
nice.
bad. But once again, I don't know, man. I would play classic pistol with a flash and fake out and light shield. I have more utility. Map is like, you know, close range map, medium range map. Like, I think that classic is much better than Ghost on this map. And most of the times you should be sucking the enemy's anal cavity and fighting them in close range gunfights anyways. And also, most of the times, one of your teammates is gonna die, you're gonna pick up their ghost, and that's it, essentially. Good lineup. This is a good lineup for the fast rotation on A.
They closed. They broke my door.
Good repositioning. Now,
40 on raise.
good. Actually, good round. Thus far, good round.
Spike down.
Left spike,
B.
left spike.
Portal closed.
Okay, but we have one problem here. Enemies could have crossed top mid, and right now they can be in the CT. Like, for a moment of time, I would actually leave my Cypher alone in the market. Actually, I would not leave my Cypher alone in the market. I would just place my crosshair and focus myself on the CT, and that's it. If Cypher is picking this fight, we can just use a flash here and take the kill. Also, like, listen, whenever you're playing Yoru and you're engaging the enemies around some kind of a pillar, like this can be a pillar, like this info boot, like, always try to engage the enemies from the opposite direction from which you're using your flash. So if I'm using this flash, I'm gonna go for this peak if the enemies are there. If the enemies are here, I'm gonna use this flash and go for this peak. So you don't get randomly spammed, you know, if the enemies are fully flashed. Like, if they see flash here, more likely it is that they're gonna spam this, you know. And they're not gonna expect the opposite peak. But, I don't know, like, there's a chance that the enemy jet is right now, like, in the CT, like... Actually, they're both top mid, okay.
Top mid.
And, of course, we're gonna make a El Clasico mistake in these lobbies. We are 3 versus 2. Let's isolate 1 versus 1 and 1 versus 2 gunfights everywhere. Brother, I'm 3 versus 2. I don't give a shit about spike control. I don't give a shit about map control. I don't care where the enemies are gonna end up. I want to play on a refrag potential with my teammates and close this round in the painless way possible. What I would do right now is close the market doors, because we still didn't use them, play with my Cypher on a refrag potential, and that's it. And I would leave my jet to the Jesus Christ in his hands. But now pushing this and isolating this 1v1 gunfight, I would never do in my life. Also, we still have a flash. We can play with some kind of an advantage. Now your Jet and Cypher are taking the fights on mid. And now you need to pray to Jesus Christ that your Jet and Cypher are gonna kill the enemy Cypher. In the elos below Immortal 3, but you never know. You literally never know how these type of scenarios are gonna play out if you're not the one controlling them. And also here, like, you know, whenever you hear the enemies pushing through some kind of a corridor, medium range or long range corridor, and you have a flash, I mean, like, you know, instant reaction should be like doing some kind of a play like this and destroying that jet. Like, you're not fighting this Jet with the flash ability. Why are you playing Yoru? Go play Reyna then. Go play Aizo.
One enemy remaining.
No, not... Flash, 19 HP, something.
Last player.
So, moral of the story here is... you can never trust your teammates ever. With anything. And if you already have a true numbers advantage, for an example, you're 3v2, focus more on the baiting and trading game. Let your teammates take the fights first, and be there to refrag them and play with them. You don't need to don't fully bait them. Your job is still to, fight with them. But I'm not gonna be the first one that takes a fight. Ever. Because I cannot trust these imbeciles. Now, we ended up in a 1v1 fight with 19 HP. Enemy Cypher knows that we are top mid. So what do we do in this scenario? We reposition and we gamble. Right now, I have absolutely no idea where the Cypher is going to end up. So what I would do, I would actually go all the way into the B main, because the spike is here. He knows that I was here last time, and a normal player in Valorant would pre-assume that this Yoru is probably gonna push him like this. But we are not a normal Yoru player, we are 200 IQ. So, what I would do, I would walk all the way into the B main, holding this angle, and playing a fast rotation onto the A side from here. Or just doing this. We need to gamble. With 19 HP, you need to gamble on some side. I would gamble on the B side only because Spike is closer to B side, and we apply the pressure on top mid. So it's highly unlikely that he is gonna run away onto the A side.
Player standing.
55.
But holding this angle and staying on this position, not a good idea.
Time to jump.
Bro. Okay, respect. I mean, okay, still like, once again, you won this 1v1 fight not because you're a better player, only because this Cypher is a worse player, like, essentially. Here we needed to use the flash, use the teleport, play smarter. Like, I would instantly start rotating towards B set and B mid. Like, basically, where would I be at this moment of time? At this moment of time, I would have already been here. As the Cypher is doing this. He is gonna probably think that I'm still CT or behind him, and I just do this. Cypher is dead.
So what?
Okay, listen. No matter what happens in the first round of Sunset, second round you're always playing in the market again, and basically, I would always play some kind of a classic pistol shorty strategy with Yoru. Like maybe classic shorty here instead of this smoke, and then with a shorty popping out, with a pop flash and trying to trade myself for a kill and then escaping with a teleport. You can play in the market like, maybe with a shorty trying to take a kill. Figure it out for yourself. But whenever you win the first round, outlaw with a heavy shield or light shield. If you don't have money for heavy shield, buy a light shield. All of the utility and shorty. And we're not closing the market doors. We're holding this angle and going for the body shot kills on mid, and that's it. And there is no way that I would showcase the enemies this type of a play in an anti-eco round. Whenever you're playing anti-eco rounds, like enemies are eco or halbay, on a defender, on the attacker side, you want to play the most boring Valorant ever. You never want to showcase them, your outplays. You never want to showcase them how you generally like to play on the map, you just want to play default Valorant and try to win the round based on the gun advantage and based on the refrag potential. So doing this play now is absolutely stupid. It would have been much better if we did this play in the third round, which is our bonus round. Gotta get that clip. Respect. And yes, like, one thing that I forgot to mention is that I would once again place the TP for the fast rotation either in the spawn or in the CT. Listen, you have 0 viewers on Twitch. You're not a YouTuber. What the fuck is this, bro? Like, you're trying to teleport yourself on top of that box? That is the most useless Yoru play for which I would never go in my fucking life. Wasting a teleport and a clone to get on top of a box in an anti-eco round. I just got a stage 3 cancer. Instantly. It's not stage 4, but 2 or 3. Brother. Like, this type of a play is 99.9% of times not worth it. You're investing way too much utility for nothing. Enemies hear your teleport. You waste 2 pieces of utility. It's not worth it. Like, right now, what would have been good from you to do is maybe rotate towards your jet that is playing alone, while the rest of the team is actually rotating to support you on A site. And then we play together as 5, a proper 5v5 retake in a full buy round. We have a clone, we have 2 flashes, and we have a teleport. What else do we need to outplay the enemies? Nothing, essentially.
I'll return.
Of course not.
Fake teleport.
Like, this is exactly what I was talking about. Like, brother, we needed this clone to actually clear these smokes. Like, enemies can be close to us. Instead of placing this shit utility, maybe we should observe a timing. But enemies can be in our anal cavity already right now. But I'm gonna disregard everything here that you did. Like, the main mistake that you did is not supporting your teammate jet on the bomb site in the real time. If I already teleported here, I'm not going A short. I'm instantly going towards my jet because she's alone, fighting for her dear life. 5 enemies that are pushing her. And I'm doing this. My jet wanna go back. No problem. I go back as well. I'm waiting for 3 of my teammates to rotate on A link. Let's retake the site. Let's play together. Okay, on the retake of A site, we can use
Time to jump.
this teleport. That's gonna end up at that box. Not bad. Like, we can flash the enemies above the site once again, like here. Or we can do some kind of a deeper flash like that. TP, take the site, you know, use the... First, we can use the flash with a fake out to make the enemies think that, you know, we are pushing. Then use this flash, teleport there. That's it. One setup. There's millions of setups we can do. Like, to be honest, on the ASA, like preparing a fake out, doing a TP there, flashing the front site, doing this teleport, killing this guy, and entering the site as our teammates are pushing in from the short. Like. But leaving the jet on site alone while you're trying to boost yourself on a box with a fake out and TP, you deserve to lose. If you lost this round, you deserve it. Absolutely deserved.
Time to jump.
Absolutely deserved. Okay. Listen here. Creativity is very rewarding in Valorant, and it's very good if you're trying to play with the enemy's mind and, you know, if you're a creative player. But like when enemies are equal in hull buy, you don't want to be creative. You want to be very basic bitch, essentially. You're using the most necessary utility to win the round, and your primary mindset is, if enemies are eco, I just want to win this round on a refrag potential based on the better weapons that I have compared to the enemy team. And that's it. I want to do the basic flashes, basic fakeouts, basic teleports, no crazy outplays whatsoever, just the most necessary shit. Now, in the first round, enemies went mid. In the second round, they went A. That is why in this third round, based on the A-B pattern of pushing, I would actually play in the market and B set again. And I would probably try to go for some shorty play through the enemy smoke or play a bit more passively. I mean, in this round, for an example, I would have played behind this box with a shorty. Why not? I mean, like, if you didn't clear it proper, if you didn't clear B main area of the map properly, what are the chances that, you know, enemies in this elo are gonna do the same shit? To be honest, like, you know, in eco rounds, what you can also risk, like if the enemies have the Cypher camera there, you can use this TP. Why not? Like, you know, wait for the enemies to start walking towards the teleport, just use a basic pop flash, TP, take a kill, and that's it. If you don't survive, it doesn't matter, like, at least you're gonna get like maybe 1 or 2 kills. It's okay. But there is a chance that, you know, maybe you can survive. Like, if you have a clone to support yourself and TP out, there is a chance.
Cypher comma A.
Brother, it's too cold here.
Cypher mid.
Okay.
I know
Okay.
exactly where you are.
Houston, we have a problem. Cross it. We have a, no, not walking. We just got revealed. Flash doesn't exist, but okay. Okay, now there is a gun. We have a flash. We can pick up that gun with a flash, right?
Decoy.
Spike planted.
Reloading.
Drop in a smoke.
Last player standing.
Well, they actually faked the B push and went A. Respect. It's okay. It's okay that he rotated. Anyways, it's like an eco round. Like, I don't expect him to win these rounds. Like, if he gets one more kill, he has the ultimate. So that's good enough. Okay, okay.
Are
In this round, again, I would play around the, you know, around the market or top mid, because we have absolutely no idea where the enemies are going to go next. And just wasting this TP sometimes for a rotation is not worth it at all. But we can kind of notice already from these first 3 rounds that the passive playstyle is not going to work, and we need to take more space. And, you know, you're either fighting for the A main space or B main space. I mean, the best idea on this map is always to take the A main control with a one-way smoke, Gecko flash, you know. Gecko uses a flash here, Claw does a one-way, you push with your own flash, take the control, and then we can rotate all towards the B side and towards the top mid and market. And leave one player there.
Dead.
I'm
Out
evil.
ready.
I'm evil.
He is evil, my friends. He is evil.
Some A.
Evil genius.
Going back, going tiles.
I'm ulting to check.
I'll
He is mentally evil. Like, why would you ult here? Like, I don't get it. Like, we don't know where are the enemies. We know that enemy Cypher is mid. But I have no idea where's the rest of the enemy team. We made numbers advantage. We're 5v4. We have full aiming control and full Cypher setup on B site. I would save this ultimate for the retake. Like, it's such a powerful piece of utility to retake the site. Like, you cannot just blindly use the ultimate and be like, okay, I'm gonna scout the enemies on a defender's side. Sure.
I see one tiles, one mid bottom.
I mean, you can do that at the start of the round to maybe pressure the enemies and take space and maybe some kills, but we already got a kill. Your job is done. Everything that you're doing right now is mega unnecessary.
2 tiles.
You main.
Portal closed.
I mean, you knew that one guy is like B main, so I don't know. I also like, why didn't you? Oh, you don't have a shorty. Okay, listen. From now on, please. First of all, how the fuck you have a light shield? How the fuck we have a light shield right now? There's a first question. Fuck with that light shield bullshit. Second of all, how the fuck we don't have a shorty? Like, whenever you have the ultimate, you should have the shorty with yourself. Like, I mean, the absolutely easiest play you can go for is like, you know, ult, go behind an enemy, send the clone in front of him, bop, bop, bop. That's it. I was wondering here, like, why you're not closing the gap with this guy.
Portal closed.
Ah!
Listen, I'm not gonna talk about that ultimate play, even though it could have been much better, and you know you could have found a better angle to engage that Astra, only because the whole play was mega unnecessary. Like, you didn't need to go for it. You didn't need to waste your ultimate. You still could have played with your teammates, wait to see what enemies are gonna do, and use the ultimate for some better moment of time. Because with Yoru, you know, there is, you know, always a better moment of time to use the ultimate. Like, with a Jet ultimate, you can never go wrong. Like, Jet ultimate, you can use it at the start of the round as soon as you get it, like as a economy saver tool. Chamber ultimate as well. Gecko ultimate, I mean, like, as long as you don't have a numbers advantage, you can use it to enter the site and just clear the enemies and win the round, close the round. Like, but with the Yoru ultimate, like, you know, there's definitely some moments of time where you really don't want to use it.
Trust man, it happens.
Like, on defense, I would always keep it either for the retakes or like for some early push to scout enemies and maybe pressure them, like in eco rounds and halba rounds, like maybe with the judge pushing them in the face and, you know, gambling a bit more.
Okay, if it's a bad day, just pick up.
This one. For B control with his team.
Time to jump.
Ooh, that footstep is gonna fuck us up.
Hard B.
Maybe, I don't know. Oh. Listen, if this was a full buy round, I would have went for this teleport. But because it's an eco round, I would have actually reloaded the Stinger and tried to kill one more enemy. Why not? You still have a teleport to escape fast. You have a clone. You have a, you know, flash. Why not?
101 on race.
I would have
They
risked
have
it
no
more.
smokes now.
Because they still have a Gecko ultimate. They still have a Raze ultimate. I mean, like, your Cypher has been chilling alone on the B side. This ain't gonna be nice, you know?
Back soon.
Also, like, what is this economy management? Like, how do you have this many credits in this round? Like, just a
It's a
second.
bad day for me.
So, in the next round, you're going to have like 6,950 credits in total. Unless you're saving the money for the operator. Why are we saving so many credits for the next round? Like in this round, I would have bought a Vandal, Light Shield, and some utility. And I still have enough money to buy a Vandal, Light Shield, and some utility in the next round as well. I would have bought maybe a Stinger, Heavy Shield, Shorty, and utility. And in the next round I have a Heavy Shield, Vandal, and utility. Like, why in this... Like, the main question is, like, why you're playing Light Shield in this round? Like, that would be the main question. And why don't you have a Shorty as well? With a Stinger? Adapta would have time to reload there. No, Stinger reload is really fast, man. You had time to reload. I mean, also what you could have done is, like, you could have done the flash, then reload, then fake out, and then peek. And then TP away. Like, basically here, you know, when you engage the enemies, let's turn off the bullets. Like, I mean, we come here. We killed one enemy. Like, you had one bullet. You could have done a second flash, reloaded the weapon. Now, fake out, peek again, TP away.
Trust, man.
I saved because my team saved. Listen. Number one, like, yes, if your teammates are saving, if 3 or more of your teammates are saving, you should save as well. But you always invest every single credit that you're not gonna use in the next round. Like in the next round, if your plan is to buy a Heavy Shield with a Vandal and utility, in this round you're investing every other credit that you're not gonna use in the next round. You're buying a Vandal, Light Shield, Stinger, Heavy Shield, Shorty, like Judge, whatever you can invest. The more utility we have, the more shields we have, the more guns we have. In this round, the higher chances we have to win the current round. You're looking way too much in the future, like, future might not be that bright, you know.
To jump.
Okay?
My ult's not ready. Decoy. Anyone else?
Don't be greedy, motherfucker. Like, listen. Like, you know, as soon as you kill that raise, you should have TP'd out. Because, like, you don't have time to pick up the gun there. Greed is not good, you know?
Out of charges.
One enemy remaining.
Okay.
Spike planted.
Here.
Okay. Solid round from you. Solid round from you. I mean, generally speaking, like, in these eco rounds, halberd rounds, you should play more aggressive and go for this type of plays. Like, especially with Yoru, you know. In beam and area of the map, like, we can create different type of setups here, you know. We can use this teleport as some kind of you know, enemies are pushing here. We can use this TP. They turn around, you know, we can use a fake teleport, delay the flash, they look towards the teleport, then we peek. We can, like, use a real teleport with a pop flash, and then ba 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 booey ba ba ba. We can, like, you know, play here like you did. Use the flashes and teleports in the way that I've showcased earlier on. We can also just go for a regular peek. Maybe we can fake the clone. Like, you know, do this, do the clone, do the flash in the same time, and then peek. Sometimes putting a teleport here is not a bad idea. Like, to basically flash the enemies up high and go for a swing and try to take a few kills. Like, there's enormous amount of plays you can do in the beam and area of the map. In the A main, like, in eco and halberd rounds, like, maybe you can force a sheriff with a light shield. Basically place a safe TP behind you. When the round starts, like, do this type of a flash. If the enemies are not pushing fast, take the kills. We can also do this type of a flash. It will have the same result. We can just use a flash behind us, take the kills. Also, like, you can flash for your teammates. And let them peek. Like, there's so many things you can do, essentially. Like, with Yoru, There's aggression is unlimited, essentially. Good round by you. Good round.
Oh yeah.
Okay, listen. On a defender side, don't repeat the same plays 24/7. First of all, like, ask yourself, what are the chances in this round for enemies to go B again? Chances are below 20%. Why? We completely butt-fucked the enemy team. Their confidence to push B set is probably very low. And enemies are kind of following the A-B pattern of pushing. Like every round, they're doing something different. That is why, in this round, we should have started and played on the A side. Second thing, enemies are right now playing an eco hull by round. I don't want to do this play. I want to play a bit more passively, abuse some common or uncommon off angles, you know, fight a bit safer, and that's it. So essentially, like, this is not a round to go for the play again. And basically, I wouldn't repeat that same play 2 rounds in a row. I would try to, like, we already applied a lot of mental pressure onto the enemies in this position. So the next time we can try to do is maybe this TP play. Or not doing any TP play at all. And maybe you can start the round by placing a TP here and going back. And then using a, you know, flash, teleport, re-peeking the enemies. Like, don't repeat the same. Like with Yoru, there's never a reason to repeat the same play on the defender's side 2 times in a row in the same way or same manner. Like, you can always change like one component to make it look the same, but you're actually outplaying enemies in a different way.
Oh yeah! Monster on the loose!
But here, like, playing B side is just... what the fuck,
mid.
man.
62 on
But now that 2 of our teammates died on mid, yep, that's fun. Listen, like, really try to emphasize to your teammates, like, if you're not playing market, or you don't have time to play market, and one of your teammates is passive on the B side, tell them to close the doors. We don't need market doors opened if we're not fighting for mid.
I know exactly where you are.
You know enemies are pushing mid. You know enemies are pushing market. Enemies reveal you with a Cypher ultimate. And you want to take this duel.
Exactly where you are.
What? Like, right now, we need to isolate enemies in a smart fights and use our utility to outplay the enemies. Period. Like, I'm not gonna be... Like, first of all, what I would have done here, after 2 of my teammates died on mid, I would instantly cancel this TP that we had for a rotation in CT. So I have a teleport to outplay the enemies on the site. I will wait to see how the round is gonna pan out. And I will be jiggle picking enemies here, waiting for the Cypher ultimate to, you know, go down. And then, as the enemies are engaging me, I'll be trying to fuck them up with a one-way flashes in the CT, trying to fuck them up with this type of peaks. Try to create some kind of a TP setup to actually outplay them. Like, maybe send this teleport all the way into the CT. So after taking a few kills, if enemies are CT, I can also do a deep flash, teleport, take the kills, take more space. Like, with Yoru, like, every single fight in which you don't use your utility to outplay the enemies, and you just pick a 50-50 fight, it is the moment of time when you could have done something better. That same rule we use with Jet. Like, with Jet, if you don't use the dash ability to fight the enemies, the coaching note for that round is like, you could have used the dash ability to fight the enemies. Same goes for Yoru. You have a clone, you have a teleport, you have 2 flashes. If this utility is still active, and you just picked a 50-50 fight for no reason, you could have done 20 different things instead of engaging this Jet in a 1v1 fight. At the end of the day, you know, we can position here, let the Cypher ultimate reveal us. We send our teleport beam in. Bam. Use a fake teleport. Use a pop flash here. Take a kill. For an example. When you saw that two of your teammates died, we could have placed a fake out here, send a teleport, go backside, wait for the enemies, pop flash one enemy from here, take a kill, use the teleport, use the fake out. You know, they are gonna shoot the fake out, ba 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 boo. Like it's... That's where you're like in the numbers disadvantage situations. That is where your creativity needs to shine. Not the anti-eco rounds. Not the rounds where you have the numbers advantage when you're in the numbers disadvantage. Like, that's where you cannot panic and you know, isolate a fight like this one. Oh damn, I have a clone and flashes to fight enemies. Okay. Ooh, making this many footsteps to reach this position. No bueno, man. No kinder bueno. Like, I don't like this at all. Like, why would I ever reach this position by running? That's mega dangerous. I don't know, like... This Cypher didn't clear you, only because probably, you know, communication in this lobby is like 0. But if I was that enemy that died top mid, I would tell my teammates that, you know, you're pushing close, man. They heard the footsteps.
Cypher styles.
And that's what I'm talking about, like, try not to place this teleport, like, here. The TP should always end up somewhere, either here or here. And if it ends up here and enemies don't have a smoke, it's gonna be interesting.
Yep. He's hit a little.
But why are you so overexposed on mid? We are 5v4. We have numbers advantage. Jiggle pick the angles. Hold some tight angles. Get ready to refrag your teammates. Who's forcing you to fight? Is someone, you know, at your PC and like, brother, if you don't fight right now, I'm gonna blow your brains out. Like, chill, man. Tuck yourself in. Observe the minimap. Doors are closed. My Gecko is alone on the B side. Okay, he's holding B side. Cypher is in a really fucked up position. Maybe I should rotate into elbow to support my Cypher, because Cypher is playing one and done angle as a fucking Cypher in a numbers advantage situation. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bless ya. Funny enough, like, Cypher doesn't die, but Jet dies. Like, incredible. But now enemies are moving into elbow, and what are we doing? We are doing a escape teleport, safe teleport. What the fuck is this teleport for? You're throwing these escape teleports way too early, before you even see in what type of a scenario you're gonna be. Like, these type of teleports you need to throw like when you're 2 or 3 seconds away from some kind of a play. But you're not going for any play right now. Right now, probably enemies are gonna stomp your Cypher and make a mashed potato out of him in that elbow. While you're doing the teleport and, you know, whatever the fuck. Mashed potato made, but he was able to actually get a kill. Okay, she's stuck there. Step bro. Step bro, I'm stuck.
One enemy
Okay, that was an easy kill, to be honest.
My ult's ready.
Elbow.
But what you should have done instead of all of this bullshit, while the enemies were revealed on the minimap and they were pressured by your Cypher ultimate, you should have moved into the site and slowly closing the gap with your Cypher and fighting together with him. Like, we can send our clone to delay the enemy's push and to delay some time from their execute. And now with the flashes, with the utility, we can support the Cypher, play on the refrag potential, you know, This angle is really good to hide because enemies from the shore don't see you. Enemies from the elbow don't see you. Wait for the Cypher to pick a fight. And now, voila. Once again, you can do some pop flash. Ba ba boo ba ba ba. Take a kill. Enemies are pushing A side. No problem. Pop flash. Ba ba boo ba ba ba. Ba ba boo ba ba ba, man. Ba ba boo ba ba ba. Like, not
One enemy.
not otherwise.
Elbow.
My guy is schizo, man. Schizophrenic, bro. He thinks like there are 6 enemies in the team. Okay. Oh, listen, when you're closing the market doors, remember the switch is not active in the first 1.5 seconds. Like you need to wait 1.5 seconds in order to close the switch.
Cypher blade. Amen. Nice.
Close the doors. You're not gonna fight anymore. We're not fighting mid anymore. We're not fighting mid. We made a numbers advantage. Right? Close the door. We don't need to pick alone. We already like. Don't repeat the same play on a defender's side 2 times in a row. Like on defense, it doesn't work like that. You can do the same play 2 times in a row, but you need, for the second time, you need to change it a bit. Something, some component of it. I don't know. Anything. Like in this play in mid, like there's nothing that we can actually change. Like maybe push with the smokes or something like, or do some aggressive teleport. But what the fuck, bro? You're way too predictable for the enemy team on both attackers and defenders side.
Yeah.
And I mean, your teleport is not really like a jet dash ability, you know. And another thing, listen, when you're teleporting, you really need to start like doing 2 things. Number one important thing when you're teleporting, you need to start, like a lot of the times on the attacker side, you're actually not flicking towards the direction where the enemies can be in the middle of the teleport. Like, if I'm doing this TP, I'm teleporting like this. So I'm instantly, my crosshair is instantly in the area of the map where the enemies are at that moment of time. If I'm doing this TP, I'm teleporting like this. Taking this fight and then this fight. Second thing that you're not doing, when you're escaping the fights with a teleport, you are not giving your anal cavity to the enemies. That is one of the rare times when you should give the ass to your enemies. Like if I'm escaping this fight with the jet, I'm not gonna TP like this. I'm gonna try to, you know, like, do something like this. My head is down. My ass is ready for a penetration. And that's the best we can do to escape that fight. No way, man. Like, there's no way we use the ultimate again. Like, enemies are not pushing anything. They're just playing very passively, very slow. We just got a kill. Enemies are in a numbers disadvantage. We are controlling fully this round. And we're using the ultimate to pressure them. Alone. Aggressively. Why?
I see 1, 2 mid. Going market. Going market.
I don't know, man. Like, in this specific situation, I would quite literally... Like, this was a really good play by Yoru as well. By your Gecko, sorry. Like, here, what I would have done. Cypher is detained. The rest of the enemies are in the market. I will just teleport here. Kill the Cypher. Playground is yours, baby. We can teleport. Send a teleport at the backside. Do the pop flash here. Take a kill. Do this type of a flash. Take a kill. Use a fake out with a flash. Make the enemies think that's us. Take a kill. TP. Play with a Gecko. Use the pop flash in the city to pressure the enemies. Take the kills there. Like, I don't know. There was no reason to do this type of a play. And also another thing that you need to start doing is, like, I mean, if you're already close to some corridor and choke point and you're in the ultimate, feel free to just use the flash, you know, like this, get out, and, you know, it's easier for you to dodge the flash instead of using it behind yourself. Just a second. I kinda closed the VOD. That's gonna be a problem. Moment. Just to find the VOD again. TP has a slight delay window when you can get one tapped. I know, I know.
Spike planted. One enemy remaining.
Market, market, market.
Okay. Okay. Is this the final round? Did enemy Astra ever use the ultimate? Ever? Okay, so the lineup for rotation towards this CT is you place on the bottom of M, right? This is good to know. So you start here and you place here, right? And then this travels all the way there. Good to know, good to know. Good lineup, to be honest. Probably you need a barrier for this, right? Oh, you don't need it all travels. Okay, not bad, not bad. Not bad.
Time to jump.
Listen. Whenever like no matter which agent you're playing, if the enemy Cypher camera scouts you while going for some kind of a play in the B main area of the map, fuck it. Unless you're going for a play together with your teammates, like you're playing some kind of a double bait setup, like maybe your teammate jiggle picks the camera, you know, he pre-fires the camera, and then you have a timing to like get here and then play like a, you know, play on a reefer potential. Try to surprise the enemies. But if I'm going alone for some kind of a play, camera scouts me, I'm just gonna destroy it and that's it. That's already a lot of pressure. You know, we're taking camera out of the enemy team, taking off that information, and now we can create some kind of a different setup, you know. We can use this, we can use fake out here, wait for the enemies to be around this line, do this, you know, don't flash yourself, then maybe teleport, you know, peek when they kill the fake out, then teleport there, enemies are pushing in, bop, do another flash, like, I don't know. And also, like, there is no way that I would have went for this peak without some kind of a pop flash or fake out or something. Like, why would I ever fight with Yoru in a 50-50 duels? Every duel that you fight with Yoru can always be like 60-40, 70-30. Enemies can be at least half flashed or half confused where the hell you are at that moment of time. Is this the final round? No? Ooh, this is the final round. Okay, let's see this.
Time to jump.
Okay, we're doing something different. Ooh, that. Ah, okay, we're doing it for the insta push. Okay, okay.
People be main.
But I would much rather use this fake out, not for the information, but rather to fight the enemies. You know, like, by you doing this, if you just do this, you kind of force the enemies to use some kind of a utility to clear this and to clear the B main area of the map. Especially, you know, put yourself in the enemy's position. Like, we aggress the enemies in the B main 3, 4, 5 rounds during this match. Like 3 rounds, 4 rounds. They're already, you know, their mental is already on the edge. They consistently need to expect you there, and Gecko will definitely use, you know, maybe a flash or something to clear you there. Like, or some kind of an aggressive Cypher camera. Instead of instantly using a fake out for the information, much better idea would have been to use the fake out to fight the enemies, you know. Make the enemies believe that that's actually you, you know. Like, do the fake out, do the flash, they destroy the fake out, take a kill. outplay them with, you know, play with their mind with a TP. Like, this information means nothing. Like, in this round, just destroy the camera. Now, let's fight.
There's people be main, yeah?
I need backup.
This position, I get, like, I mean, you know, how you position yourself on a defender's side depends on a lot of factors, like which agents you're playing, what your teammates are doing, what enemies are doing, but one of the main factors that determines where you can and where you cannot play on a defender side is the enemy's abilities, team compositions, and ultimate status. I mean, enemies have a Gecko and a Gecko with the ultimate. On this position, if you get one kill, you will be lucky. I mean, you're probably gonna escape. You still have a teleport. But why would I position myself like this if the Gecko has the ultimate? When I can just play a bit more passively, maybe go for a TP play, you know, flash play, like maybe flash the enemies from the right side, peek from the left side, or just flash the enemies up high, take the kill, TP out. We can still take a kill, dodge the Gecko ultimate, and then play retake with the teammates. But in this position, like, I mean, it's one of the first positions that the Gecko ultimate is gonna scout. You need to instantly TP away. Or destroy the ultimate and then, like... Nah, Ascendant is high elo, you know. Immortal players are good at the game.
I've spiked.
Don't market, market, market.
Spike down. B.
And also, God gave you this free kill. God gave you this free kill. And you, instead of repositioning in a 5v3 numbers situation with a teleport, and respecting the numbers advantage, you decide to fight more. That type of shit, I never tolerate when I coach any players in Valorant. You're 5v3, in a full buy round, you turtle in, and play on the numbers advantage and close out the round yourself. In every single round, when you're not alive, that is a chance for your teammates to make some kind of a fuck up and to lose that round. Here,
I've
bad.
spiked.
God gave you a perfect timing. We still have a teleport. You should be like, thank you, Jesus. You know, whatever religion you are. You TP away, and now we play with our allies.
Don't market, market.
Okay. Telling a lot of the mistakes, to be honest, for an Ascendant player. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. That's how I would describe your gameplay. In terms of the mechanics, like crosshair placement can be much better. Like angle clearing can be much better, much more methodical. Also, like you have some mechanical mistakes in terms of your teleports and, you know, how you use your utility. You're pulling out your utility before you even clear the angles. Micro corrections, 5 out of 10. Switch targeting, 5 out of 10. We need to fix these mechanical problems, and I'm gonna give you some kind of aim training routine to work on these problems for the next like 2-3 months. Another problem is like, and that's like mechanics. In terms of utility usage, like your TP setups can, you know, you can use your teleport at a better moment of time. And your default teleports, especially on a defender attacker side, they need to be much better. I mean, I didn't have a chance to see any of your retake teleports. I can only imagine what the hell you're doing on defense. Like, but I don't know. We are using your TPs in a passive way too much. Like, you don't always want to use a safe teleport to go back. That's not always the play. On defense, you wasted your ultimate every single time. Basically, you know, there was no reason to use the ultimate. And I mean, we kind of covered every single topic during this VOD review, what you should work on. Like, you know, your game knowledge definitely can be much better. Your setups with Yoru can be much better. I would argue that one of the main things that are bad for you with Yoru is like flashes. Like, your flashes are very easy to dodge and very easy to predict. you need to hide that trail a bit more. Like, a lot of your flashes are just straightforward in the face of the enemies. If you're dropping that type of a Yoru flash, like, especially in high-low lobbies, players are just gonna, you know, turn around, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-boo-ba-ba-ba. They need to be much more unpredictable. One-way flash, pop flash, I don't know, like, pixel flash, like, do different variations, you know. Look at my Yoru playbook. I've already covered in the playbook, like, how to use Yoru flashes properly. Try to apply that, you know. The more you hide your flash, the more it is unpredictable. It's better for everyone, essentially. Other than that, everything else is covered during this VOD review. I'm also going to give you some kind of a general training, and, you know, I generally don't like doing summaries, because if I'm already doing a VOD review for you, I expect you to watch this VOD review from beginning to the end. There's no summaries, bro. No shortcuts here. Like, every piece of information is important. We'll talk through the private messages. And for all of the other guys and girls and tricksters and tricksetters, thank you for watching another Tier 3 sub VOD review presented by your favorite trading coach, Charlatan or Papito. Leave a like, leave a subscribe, you know, subscribe. Leave a comment, tell me down in the comments, like, you know, if you have any questions about Yoru or how to play on Sunset. And make sure to join my Discord server for coaching, as, you know, also I organize giveaways regularly. And join my Twitch streams for daily streams, which are most of the times late. I'm never on time. Thank you for watching one more time. Thank you for watching again, actually. And see you in the next one. I'm too tired, bro. I'm dying.